Media me here. But what? Now, Sammy de fu pede o mi ho. Now, Sammy de fu pede o mi studio.
Chama you know.
Yes.
Share.
Enta mi bisa pede wa.
Sa apumbo ko de.
Media me here. But what man here?
Ghana nkomo ya na de adu.
Sa. Me minya nka woni dem ha o.
Oh, David Jama Menkasa.
Many bresem.
Menkasa.
David. Minya ya nka you are not on the show.
Menkasa.
David, ampa asempa na meka cho. Intia hawa nka free so.
David Jama. Ampa Chama Kukufu ne
untimi nko jina bebe enko twantron fa me ho.
Oh, David.
Enni matem.
Chama na nkomo wo di abaha.
You think I'm joking?
Chama wo enye peace and fair.
David, now I say media agro. David. Some if you mean nia grossa. You impugn my integrity. You call me names. You put it on social media. Uko radio soka. Now we communicators the men. You who say we are wrong, you didn't have the courtesy so you go back and correct it. And you get up and sit on my show with Maminka.
Chairman.
Maminka say because me honestly I'm not happy you're here. Mamin bisa bibi.
That man
Hey,
I don't want to be emotional this morning.
Oh, chief executive.
Oh, Patron Chen.
Debbie, oh, your lawyer. Tie, Mamin bisa asem.
Chairman, say pay say udia ya.
Edin say ya.
Ya pa, say minim. My kai story. Chairman,
what kind of story?
This say ya.
Kwa bontin. Ofa ebo. Ofa be. And then menye me bo. Edu o dey asumi ncha so.
Abusia mamenchi na memo akwa aba na ene Kwame Sefa kan ya wono na ye morning show host ewo Peace FM ebre ya Eric AJ Esquire ya wono ena eye NEIP boss de ma NDC aban ba be piem wo hono no wo kire se ene amanfo binum say Sammy Gyamfi din ena gold board aboka ena obiti se afenyo marking ene NDMPP 4 esole ya na omo ese Sammy Gyamfi aboka na omo se Sammy Gyamfi din na edin se ye wo hoi eya eno ne nsemo Eric J Esquire NDC ni boss yi okokan no Kwame Sefa kan show so na eno na Kwame Sefa kan eba be kire ne se he nti mu NDC 4 mu nim se edin se ye wo hoi eya munim se din se ye wo hoi eya ene wono Sammy Gyamfi ejina baabi eye ne ya se obi bo ne din na wono ensem ahodo a bra ne NDC for opposition Sammy Gyamfi ko kan wo afidie so de gu wono Kwame Sefa kan ho fin no se sansem no so a nke na bia nkankan ko wieye na yabaka ye bra yaba beto aba 2019 2020 mu ho baabi ene Sammy Gyamfi ene oba radio station na wa ma ne kwan ama na ntumfuturu angu Ghana fo ani a ene wo se wo MPP ni ena o chese wo kan asem bia na se wo ye wadwene se o de fact no ebe kire ne se no asem na wo kan hwe ne ha ene wo se wo MPP ni ene wo de Kwame Sefa kan ko tena ba bi twabo no a se Sefa kan MPP 4 na asoma no nti wo ko Peace FM o ma wo kwan ma wo nkire wadwene ena chese o kan asem bebre no a kire se Sefa kan o de fraud ho se bi kura for no na eno na Sefa kan hwe din ma NDC 4 horo no a na eho ena da kurubi Sammy Gyamfi kuru ya saba bi piem wo Peace FM abra na Sefa kan ena host dwumadie no na kwanya Sefa kan de ne fa so no de wono ankasa woje ne ho gina kire se wo ya brante na osisu a edin se ye ho enye eno ne gold board ebinum ebo Sammy Gyamfi din a NDC fo na mo ache se ye omo ya sa manfo bo Sammy Gyamfi din enso so IMF fo ne de krata ba bontin NPP fo nya bia wonom eka enti se mo woko bi ko a monko na mo ne IMF fo nkoko nya MPP fo enya afenyo market na kire na adwen na mum report a IMF fo mani di sika semachi e de beto bontre so no eno na omo ka bie nenti yende de ko nansa na kura mpo no a ye behwe ne de adwumadi na e ko so Peace FM no yenhwe 2019 mu ho baabi ebre ya sansensem ya akọso Sammy Gyamfi esa ba Peace FM na said Sefa kan esi handle no e wose osi di na tem a ene bi no mu kire se kama ena ato Sammy Gyamfi ene ama wono so wo hunu de wo hunu ya amanfo ehoro no sere ne abasa no yenko hwe said esi ekọso kura na yembra sisi ya
na Sammy de fu pede o mi studio
Chama you know.
Yes.
Share.
Enter me bisa opedewa.
Sa apumbo ko de.
Media me hoye. But mama ne ha.
Ghana nkomo ya na de adu.
Sa. Me minya nka woni dem ha.
Oh, David Jama menkasa.
Many bresem.
Menkasa.
David. Minya ya nka you are not on the show.
Menkasa.
David, ampa asempa na meka cho. Inti ya hawa nka free so.
David Jama. Ampa chairman kokofu ne
untimi nko gina bebe enko twantron fa me ho.
Oh, David.
Enni matem.
Chairman nkomo wo di abaha.
You think I'm joking?
Chairman wo enye peace FM.
David, now I also media agro. David. Some if you mean nia grossa. You impugn my integrity. You call me names. You put it on social media. Uko radio soka. Now we communicators the men. You who say we are wrong, you didn't have the courtesy so you go back and correct it. And you get up and sit on my show with Maminka.
Chairman.
Maminka say because me honestly, I'm not happy you're here.
Chairman.
Because you cannot come onto the same platform. Didi matem and now they come you want some I no crank. I no crank come here. But what do you mean now? And now communicators need the alpha any di matem. Oh, friend, me catch real. You didn't bother to correct it, and it's been going. And I didn't. Any edi matem ne come once my main here. And what better on the same platform that you accuse me, you see to do what? To perpetrate fraud and hypocrisy.
Hey, Chairman. I think sir.
Ana go fu my ebony.
No, Chairman.
But from Chairman.
Chairman,
the uncle back to where he went.
The worst I will use to name.
One can say
things are all come.
One can hypocrisy
have never been my worst.
One can hypocrisy.
You see, Chairman, to say the medical canon, we don't have to engage in this on this particular show.
That is why I'm surprised you're sitting here.
We are offended that I've already told you in a private conversation.
But I told you that don't tell me in private. You should have gone back to where you said.
I don't think so.
No, but
we should use this program to settle scores and all that.
Unfortunately for you, Sammy, sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not using my program to settle scores.
Okay.
What could go me hufi? What can some of them when you no credit? And our communicators, the men namin ye dimatem. I drew your attention to it. You did nothing about it. The only other opportunity I mean, me show. For you to come here and sit on this show, I am me and coming to me because I need show. So I'm surprised why you want to kind of like sweep it aside. Yes, but Obia Niha wakudi matemo baby. Now what coming one sema enye no credit. Now Makacho said yes. Chairman. Now Makacho said no credit. Now
I can see say you see Chairman, you are my senior brother.
You called me and I told you said if and I told you said go back to where you said it. And apologize for it.
No problem.
But why you also have a time to say I'm using my show to settle scores.
Yet
family show settle scores.
Yet once here you near watching you. We mean your opinion. I can see from the way you're talking, they say you're not happy.
I am not. And I don't want to hide it.
It's very sorry for that. They were kind of why? Mr.
Politicians.
But Chairman, me pe opposition so.
Sit then.
I can't say when you be some generous.
I'm sure nyan tokwa. But by many be some. So but inka uye nyamika na we wouldn't get here.
No problem, Chairman.
Inka wouldn't get here.
Chairman, so the area.
Mungu is Sammy Gyamfi them. And I'm a security from the and I go for me and I security from the
I chopper more.
So I said, don't you say what hunting or buy? So it's all the best house. So I know Fafa Miso Enterprise. I do have Fafa Miso.
I Sammy McGradam needed the agro said the birthday me we share no was studio program is so that man to the party man.
Somebody you know the man to
na
me baby so buy.
And the birthday so by. I'm make you cry with you. But Sammy, director, I think this is the best opportune time for you and all of us. Sir, you bet me aka say Chama General Kafra, sorry. Yeah. Now I feel so officially no. Say let be cry na betro.
Oh, go me letter. The person me letter. But I was on no. Honestly, contrite heart on patcho. Me letter.
Okay.
Maza. You know how long I've worked for my name? You have no idea.
Sammy, it will be the best thing.
This is the only name I have.
Sir,
Kogofu, oh yeah, no. Sir, on kind of try and carry. I'm not standing to social media.
And then,
the communicators didn't know.
If I'm going to social media.
And I'm a friend, and I'm catching you say, I could be a person me bonidi. When Dim attempt more than 5 years, my imagination mean Casano.
Yeah.
Or the meet radio so. I know Fanya all kind. And no Dim attempt. And I'm going for recording nobody sending me a frame. I was what's I gave you my hand day? What have I done to this guy? You and I have a very perfectly mutually respectful relationship. And then when you realize your mistake, you still refuse to go back there and apologize. And they kept running with it. But you sit here and you make it seem as if say you're cool. Maza, who did you do politics? No lawyer. Maybe Shaman General did you. Ain't me who say me dinner. I don't know.
Chairman, my
you've impugned my integrity. Obia you mean need you.
Sure.
After you heard what you were saying wasn't true. I had no crank, my mum made me free aircraft 3 months member. But you lied about me.
Which is painful.
Very painful. You lied about me. Mankasa nyamiana mebwa. Bedi me twin. Mankasa nyamiana mebwa.
So or patch indirectly or how about me or person come back to air now or
well that he's on already
discuss for
him
you see why I said he should walk out of my studio because he still feels to say assembly that into me die keke obi say udin da ho and obi ka say me tia odan no kre. You're growing in politics, in public life. One day, will be the year of here. When really all you have left is your name, your reputation. Today, it may seem very trivial to you. I will say a trivial idea, but one fine day, you will understand. Especially when your children are growing up, you're married, or lawyer konenim, and I believe, I know you're a smart guy, or lawyer, you might konenim, politics, konenim. Now we cast some found no credit. You will understand why I'm doing what I'm doing today. And yeah, somewhere trim da. You know the saying that social media doesn't forget.
No.
One day somebody will Google my name and that story will appear. Yeah. So it is not trivial. And yeah, somewhere trim na me trim. So yes,
Shaman.
Now the money here me say we draw attention to it. And one year
Shaman.
And then you casually walk into my studio and you're telling me some person
Shaman,
it's about me.
Shaman, but I know paying me say was sister station okay. And the what the general secretary said, I was so sad.
What
general secretary? I put me to repeat it.
Anyway,
he said it about who?
About the Kokame.
Hey,
don't come in.
Oh yes.
Don't come in.
Oh yes. I think okay. It's just around the corner. You can find.
Can we apologize and move on?
I think let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. I am not trivializing that issue to the extent that I mean from the way you are talking clearly. Omabati says and to say the medical can kafra. Now you move on.
Can it be retracted on social media?
Oh, that is difficult. It's gone.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on. It's gone.
It is not, good for you to do that.
Anyway.
Must be my idea. My bro.
Enti weni sɛdeɛ esi ɛkɔsoɔ na sɛdeɛ ne NDC ni ya ɔba hɔ a ɔkyerɛ sɛ MPP4 ɛsɛi Sammy Gyamfi din wɔno nso so Sefa kan afa ne ho ankyɛ no ma no cheche na adwene kire ne se nti mo nim se nipa din se ho ya pa de ne mo fa me bo ma me fi se mo NDC fo mo di mani papa ene ye bomu din na ye mo ya ene ye bomu din ka asema na mbachi ye ene Ghana fo kire mo adwene pe na mkochi wo mo ne so nsem a mo si akregu Ghana fo so pa na Ghana fo esi so mo so pa no enne de se bi mo pese obi abebo mu din kura de bata asem ho no na che se enye papa kura na eno ekoso
mama mbisa bibi
that man
hey abuche
I don't want to be emotional this morning.
Oh, you chief executive.
Oh, Fatun Chen.
Debbie, oh, you lawyer. Tie, mama mbisa asem.
Chama, say pe say udin ya.
Edin say ya.
Ya pa, say minim. My kind story. Baby. Chama nyenga.
What kind of story?
This say ya.
Kwa bontin. Kofa ebo. Na fa be. Another menye me bo. Edu one asumi ntwaso.
Chama nyenga. Eti asem. Na
Eric Ninjaso.
Eti say dia oyi.
My day.
Dia oyi.
Sound now say di say ya.
Mesa nkoko na wi.
Oh, yeah, that's oh, who said he say ya? And I'm say kwa bonti kofa bo bremi. O de ba metwaso.
Na say mo hata asem ko.
Anytime say kwa bonti.
Oh, jama jadi o ye.
Made. Who now said he say ya? And I'm bisa say eh ya oh.
Eh serious o.
Eh ya oh.
Agreement in na biem.
So oh.
Nti kan agreement na head there.
And then so. So oh.
Me who she o de man ntwaso.
Na asem na my baby san say ade yi me kan say ofo share bi ma shebedwoni. Kojo pon kuma na o start ayete.
Yeah.
Enu achi no na abena osaya sare so be som kakra.
Yeah.
Ansa na minority la apere esom. Ada na ono na moto na mani egu no so.
Obi entu na nsi ni so.
Apanyo.
I mean former finance minister.
Yeah, I mean Adam.
Can issues of finance in this economy. Kojo can be. Abena can be. Na no abena kure can be no utim say afenyo ne koeze no okotena na office. When timi anye wo no na office o. Afenyo office no okotena na okasa e.
Na se ni office.
David. Obi a leadership ye ni obi office space e wo ho. And I say more person what can anya agenda na mu kuki akoye sa extortionist mission na. You sit, you meet your group, you do your statement in a manner carry weight.
And which ena Andrew Ejapa Mesa ya ono oyem MPP mrahye bedwani e wo second D ho baby wono so na owodwumadi no so bi wono so nya adaje ene wanfa omo ho anche wo mkora nsensem ahodo ya ekoso ya se de Sammy Gyamfi wono mabo man ni se to kapudu a wono mabo se de ene gold board e de kosoe Bank of Ghana na Bank of Ghana de abesoe gold board ye hunu de enam no so ma e kabae e ka ne de aba na enso hwan ne boye e na akoye nsem bebre no a ye beti Andrew Ejapa Mesa so ne nkiremu a wode e baaye a wo kire se NDC fo wono ma bo man isi eto yenko hwe nkomo no se de isi ko so Peace FM mesre se obe like video ye ma me no wo hye na wode wadwen kire so aba yenkenkan bi na afi no yentimi hwe mu ade
ewa abaya yakopone wa odo bo hwe NDC fo no ma no onu a
denta
o hye crazy nim ende awu ehu de asamtudo oyeyo aka haptela
haptela
also Dr. Mahmoud Baumia dia
ende Alex Brown ni birthday o minimum pa
what's me chano
haptela minimum nyina
what's me chano
chairman
and then Alex the birthday on the bag girl
awu ye mi we masabu we Alex na sabodo yakọ wish na happy birthday
and the birthday dia wish na
masa ekese mutna
o wish no
asama aka menyu ya adwena anyi de yenya atamfo na yenye manka Ghana wafa na tempo we fra nti yepre de baba banim na ya bana yen experiences yen competencies is are brought to bear na ya advanced course of Ghana.
Let's have to lie them.
In doing so, Chairman, my bet no studio ha makada the yen politics of insults.
Yeah.
In some kaka asama eka de tunkrofo wondo enyim da onya no kwar just for power. Chairman,
brother,
would they have full circle? NDC for opposition. The kinds of things that they said. When you more down, you know, they have tell Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But they made it a central theme of their campaign. When you prefer the cremofu, when they choose the kasi on your preconam, NDC for commissioned people. Why a caricature, cartoon of Dr. Bawumia or Owipreko. They knew it was not true. Chairman, Eric, Mr. Maman Kamas, Mudaboko, how I can make a fast to the bay. Messi, Maman Kamas, report Mobi. My highlight to crowd.
Maybe a good board in the Bokan.
Chairman,
brother,
the kinds of things that we did with our politics. And there, we've gone full circle. My statement, minority, warrior press conference, what the two abonting, onya kohisam $1.7 billion loss.
But on what's on your gold board?
Oh, Chairman, my gold board is no.
Tiado,
Mr. Dama, some na minority what the two Belgium no. Onya kohisamo.
IMF knocking.
Onyako Hisam. Merely by describing the entity. We need to call our pay. According to Eric. Ekase number tsnaha. Ekase matsnaha.
Aso jiji no.
Ekase. Merely according to you. That the fact that our can report them who go board as being the entity we ain't care loss no. What to call what pay? But you lied, concocted stories against your opponents when you were in opposition. Atro. In rainbow colors. What presenting fair to the people of Ghana. And that way to go pay. Because according to you, IMF report no paragraph 13 page 10. I want to make it a document. No, may read Papa. May read the document. No, may read. Merely by reason of the fact that Bank of Ghana is described in the document, and that's a matter of fact. It's true. The Bank of Ghana and IMF's Wabakau. It's true.
Chairman General. Or see Bank of Ghana and Aboka.
Eric, Ekase Matsnaha. Membe manu.
Numkoko.
Koko manu mide. I want to focus on the Koko. Buffer Chairman.
Brother.
Mere misdescription.
Chairman General.
But you see, Merba. Eric.
Let me commend you.
I commend you, but the documents
why you bold? I can the paragraph, I can the page. Now I can see a Bank of Ghana.
Mark can document no. Yes. Mark can.
But I find who we know.
But not Merba.
But baby, I
Merba. How Nyabutar, mum. Nyabutar. Bank of Ghana one activities are owing care loss no. Abe agency no or the activity.
Gold board.
Thank you.
But is gold board mentioned in the report?
Gold board is mentioned there.
In the report.
In the report. What's the Bank of Ghana na wabakau? Good. A cow no most of any and gold board is mentioned. True or false?
Yes.
I also can true or false. True or false?
Gold board new report.
Thank you very much.
It is said they now
I'll confirm baby. I'm come some.
Money power. Now we be man that could
Hey.
And I can't. How many one?
Na or the be I'm in frame you. You.
I'm not new film visible. If I new film visible panel. Onim na suits no catch for yes keke. Me a friend you correct. It's me ya. Ebe, na chawa na won na pe me we say osudu a. Me ya minim ya kra times 1000. This is who problem nyabadi. Nyabuta. Kwame. Documents na can order interpret. And I interpret. It's the minority who interpret the loss as being occasioned by the activities of gold border. What's your worry?
Okay, so
Erica J, men say showy. Men say
this
showy.
is according to the interpretation of minority.
Na Okasevi and Kabeka.
Can you imagine?
Maybe ana obi to trot room see for my one too.
Anya di na chiko ka chem. This is John Bodu Tatis. Oh yeah, independent can say obi to trot room san from CCA asam no ko. Ni bi no. We ja kasa.
Chairman.
Eba.
Gold board. Bank of Ghana on Kogo Mukoto gold. Gold board. And Oko go Mokoto gold. And now, what about 1.7 billion? More than 50% of the IMF program. 3 billion in the midst of the economic crisis. Eric. Chairman.
Eric. What is na minu ntema basa. Yamponi.
Because more
that is no baker.
And I
ask the question that if that loss cannot be attributable to gold border, Chairman.
Yes.
What it means is that modular Bank of Ghana will use in the domestic gold purchase program. No, it's okay.
So why the losses then?
But importantly, why are they changing the model? Why are they changing the model and taking the risk of their books onto gold board?
Was that not of their books onto BOG?
No. In fact, IMF documents now or indicate there going forward, Bank of Ghana won't incur them losses in the BM.
Yeah, that's why gold board has moved on to
because we'll move model now. Gold board operate here. My Bank of Ghana about 1.7 billion from Bank of Ghana to gold board.
Yeah.
So I'm asking there.
Into 400 million is 1.7. The end also.
Yeah, reserve and then was seeding dollar stabilization.
Focus.
Thank
you. Into the so what I call for losses by. I'm about 400. I'm about 1.7. Into let's focus.
Losses now.
Focus. Both foot here fine. Focus. Yes, we did not say bad table manners. And Pacho,
come on.
Yes.
Show you young kodo because we are on kasa game.
Ona no dinu haba.
Oh, on kasa. Wa Abraham na on kasa. Nti yampu no mpreko.
Ah, we yozi.
Because I cannot understand.
Yeah.
So I'm asking the question there. Look, if the modeler one Bank of Ghana wa bakau 1.7 billion problem be and you are. Why are they moving it onto the books of gold board? So it tells you, strictly interpreting the document there, all this cost is as a result of the operations of gold board. I want Shebibia and a double to go. And a extortionist now, and a blackmail now, any now gets yaga. What did it there? I bet shrimp there. Oh, yes, minority. Questioner will be say, ni yano only ni. Or the quar, I mean, a more managed Bank of Ghana one gold purchase program ni nano. No, for purposes of recording the losses now. Wabano Bank of Ghana for na wa accommodate them losses in now.
Yeah.
On your gold bond, yem books do. Your na accounts on ni there, yem bako. Going forward, ya realize the problems be your program no. In see, them steps in the year take ye be improve ye reduce fees be na za ye to ye on them ye bako 1.7. Case close. DDP. Hey, massa.
Nya kwame na.
And I position one or you did this no. One no you did this no. Bank of Ghana one lost 400 billion. Echo demonstration or
na mo go dem we. Se na no mo ye ba ko.
Yenye we kra.
Se we kra ma te se leaders omonye dem ono kwa ne be se ono
oh where demonstration ma mo ko bi.
And then match it.
Yeah, because you see, me, I can't understand. What's about what the boteche on?
Baso was Bob.
And then, Esunga. Then the minimum there's some emotional. The more. Let me feel a hard knot.
And no emotional.
Hey, I didn't know emotional. No, you're too emotional. Let it out. And then the Facebook comment to cry. That was Sammy. Yeah, but oh,
Ebiana.
Ne kutuku yo lebe yo. Wutiri batso.
Asem no ene yo.
Ayo then. Politics they chairman. You need to grow a artificial a bulletproof yo. Come on, Zamanaba.
You mean you need to grow some balls?
Artificial with armored vehicles.
You need to have testicular fortitude.
Thank you very much. It's either true. Now, Sammy Gyamfi, I don't know where TV, Facebook, or friend. Accountability series also.
Presidency.
Oh no. Oh, that one you're in opposition. NDC TV program na way every evening. No. Propaganda pa.
Oh yeah. You try 360 no.
And some are watching it out to a hopper.
Yes, sir.
And there. And I mean even there. Those kinds of things that you did, no. Eba manuma. Why you ready pa there? MPPs who are there wanna obo stomach. But it tells you that truth no correct. On me na yesuya lessons they mo di enyim can in our politics. Because the minority when they only interpreted the BOG laws which has been occasioned the Jitundo a Kawa Bank of Ghana wabo. And to suggest there, per their understanding of the operations of the gold purchase program, no, or your gold board, no. So they asked for transparency. How did this laws come about? Our answers are they provide. You are built on young governance. Now, Dr. Baumia. Chairman, one up GP. And then one for stone, bro. Catch there. House, bro.
You put over for me stone now, bro.
Yamisho.
Amen. Mijitum.
Dr. Baumia for Yamisho.
What's about to stone boy?
No, onya tsuma. Onya tsuma na bedai.
Say go there stone.
Na on the stomach akofi sama and this vo. What's here? What do you do? Now, now you are regime the 2028 December. I say, Haja Samira, on to me first lady. Now we have there, Yakupon order the affairs of men. Or Trump on Yakupon. I end this voice when I'm so there. Our 2016 election will lose Potoi. Whoever thought that will be your chance in power about governance beam. Yet only 2 election cycles down the line. The same man who was walloped has become president by Nana Akufo-Addo, by the people of Ghana. Who showed him the exit? It's months na hanka. That by reason of the fact that they win in 2024 hallelujah. Ochinanku 2028. Ghana for bon no kwar. Wobatsin zamebiasi. Wobohu atra wodi ma wodeba power. Ananende the presidential advisor on 24-hour economy. Also market OCC 262 markets in 262 districts. 24-hour economy secretariat when you and I'm not surprised with the kind of statement Guzi Tando where issue. Also, how in the name of God would any government deploy our resources in this manner to build markets that you say will operate 24 hours? And I ask the question, in the market woman or the stores now, over on 3 shifts and I obey then, and now allocate stores in what amount of food tray. In the echo gomna ko to banchiwe na epuna na asesa wo stock na do kon na nipa foforo sa ba hye na nzama wo wa run another 8 hours na nipa foforo aba I cannot for the life of me understand. But that's how you choose to deploy the scarce resources of this country. And so now presidential advisor, the man responsible for 24-hour economy.
Gozitano.
Yeah. 2028 what we go tell.
But that's it.
Formula 133 now promising the young men of this country.
But that's it.
There, every job be our around the 3 shift of 3 people. Every job was young Ghanaian be our willing and able biano obey 2028 is there. It will come and you will account.
On that note, I move on. Kwejo Ahodo from Sheffield. Kwejo says, please ask Eric Ejay for me. Is he talking about personalization today? Can he tell me clearly that Dr. Mahmoud Baumia owns Haptel? Kwejo Ahodo from Sheffield. Now, this one is...
Moyano.
I've heard the one who need it. Who was Adam for us? Happy birthday. I know the one happy birthday. Alex, happy birthday to you. Now, this one from Kofi Tre in Kumasi. Kofi Tre says, Chairman General, ask Eric for me. The Ejapadia book, was it personal or not? Nana Akufo-Addo, who was insulted, was it personal or not?
Can you imagine?
Felix Kwachiofosu said Nana Akufo-Addo had cancer and a chronic disease. Was that also personal? Prudential bank accounts of MPP officials, was it personal? All MPP officials are doing galamsey. Was that personal? There are so many things. Maybe Eric has answers.
What kinds of more?
Maybe Eric does not.
You people,
but
you said things.
Who doesn't know? They blamed Akufo-Addo for starting Agenda 111. And today, they are building 24-hour economy markets. Over 200 of them. Pamcho Muhammad atini banu semi den baby amen kan wa yesrema tell a Japa that almost every market woman owns a shop and has workers. And if they run 24 hours, it will mean each shop owner would employ more people to run her shop. I done. Okay. And then
come and business my colleague is no age about 24 hours this year.
Dr. Benousu from Exeter, UK says, I'm watching you live. Okay, doctor, thank you. Eric, Yapon, 2 quick comments.
Me bano. Mene afenyo ne battle bi amene no ko. But me can sembi.
Sade.
Se kukuru ni jaya. Kika no be jai.
Me can say jai.
Me bisa mesa simple question. Say, where in the said reports any akase good border boka? Mesa was emphatic. Said nowhere in the report. But minority in the Kayen and your own interpretation of the report.
Yeah.
That is the interpretation of Moye. But per the report na that one minority nikita copy in our copies nowhere any good board aboka.
Okay.
And secondly, what's the approach now? Near the years are trading na the kabaya. Then the buyer na the almost son. Who you sue sa formula na the juma. Ben fiem Oboka bear 400 million. Obi buy wabe you sue. Nipa ni be you sue no for that this short pace and the gains the when you're in the economy no. Far better than the gains you gain then. So comparatively, say ne cost no cry cost it makes sense in a way because I never know can say forex na a BOG bota pace in any sono. Chairman General Obi enim said the 70 ende. Obi enim reserve, Obi enim sa na ma. So a good say you bet na sene aka say MPP be use approach way. Am more money NDC be use. So Bank of Ghana will issues. How do we go by it? That is a conversation we can have it together because we nation building here. But so a ban say, oh say, MPP pencil there, na trade na PMMC kwa ban na de kaba. But NDC pencil there, gold board kwa trade the bar and ye BOG a gold border. That one there, mesa. So ni obi aka obi antiase. Nti e besre mo, mommy enka asem no ba bia wo se de to na asomdwemra. But on record Sammy Gyamfi yen charge no with any criminal offense yaka say unfair bill condition mra honors according to Afenyo marking the okay can enti ye be so na good board na gina na so ayejuma but mensa monfa we ntu mutim mo hwe sika good board dey aba within this 2 years of your government here am economy na agina ba momo penso no nkasa space monko IMF ankenim de be ho and this Bretton Woods institutions near the no I am not here to defame them also because ye ho ba asema na omunya mfaso and if a government of the day are planning say ye nim say gold board between savage the situation na kakra bia need dem reka ko mo ho na omunyina kra they won't be happy about it mesa ye ho na omunya mfaso free no you know kasa me opinion no so na de ekoso no they won't be happy but ye oman ye na ye dia enye IMF for man ye ho na kire ya na ye ko mo ho e na ye nsa akɔhye omanum be ne ye betimi de niema agu akwan mu se da bia ye nko mo ho a adan ne ye ne preko adan na ye mo ma be detective pace na my every time
pa choko fam bo brem mapon
enumre yi na ye nsa aka krata bia a free Ghana Identification Authority and National Identification Authority for eho no wasam ne say ebo no a wo mo je dada no o ma yensesan kakra ewom ene say wo kwa kope Ghana card no bi won register ikura da na ebredi kan kura wo kwa kope Ghana card ni bi ni a ye beje 610 Ghana cedis ahensia ene edu ketuo millions ya cedis do da so o card ayira na wo ko say ye ntwa foforo ema wo a ye beje 720 Ghana cedis ketuo million ahanson ene cedi abionu se ebia udin ye na ode Joyce Danso ena se wo de kese beka danso no ho a sa kese no o se yemfa meka danso no ho ma no eno no ye beje 655 Ghana cedis cedi ahansia abionu 655 na ebia oye o card ba ko no oye ne se oye o ma bi so de share say wa benya citizenship oye Ghana ni ana wo se sa nationality a e wo card no so a eno so cedi ahensia abionu 655 Ghana cedis afi o card no se ewu se card na ekura yi nyina na obi ade ebewu e di sa o card no wu na wo ko say ye renew ma say de wo ko renew driving license no a cedis ahensia any cedi do da so 610 Ghana cedis ena ebia bibi wo so record update emfa say bia date of birth so say emfa say ohinu wa kese bo an say the date of birth ebia 20th June 1934 na ebia okwa 34 no oye no mo ye ne bia 33 na 30 a opeso okọ no mo adjust ne ye 34 no a eno no betua 400 Ghana cedis cedi aha 9 na we de Ghana 14 ezi ehwio aden NI4 aden se tete wodo krampo card no ye nimara de se na asesa Card ne mu do no aye register the NPS ka. Okoye first time aye say na kire ya enyam bi kona so wa. Ho de ye de. Yantua kapre. Na pre kwa obi atesi ano na ayefu adwuma no ho mo ye no. De afu o mu kura ne se ebia o record bi e wo so wo pese wo update no. Oh, wo pese wo update o record bi e wo so na 400 Ghana cedis. 400. What be atete wo kura no na ga wo koye express na 250. Tete wo no wo kwa koye express na mo gi 250.
Okay. But Minya Akrofom MP, I can't say B. And we need to get it right. Constitution is a constitution. But there have been many instances where the constitution has been subverted. And in this case, the constitution was subverted. And I will tell you why. Article 1461.
I don't know.
Kwame will say a justice of the superior court or a chairman of the regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or on ground of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind. Tell me one of these. We have asked that question in the Supreme Court. It could not be answered. Now, you know what is so disturbing about it?
Yeah.
Minya Kuma Justice Remsaya not all representing Attorney General in this matter. He introduced the political question, which had long been settled in SOA, to form versus Attorney General by SOA, JSC. Settled in MPP versus Attorney General in 1993, the 31st December matter. Say, in Ghana, the doctrine of the political question doesn't arise. There is no decision or action of any officer of state, including the president, that is not subject to judicial review. And yet, the Attorney General introduced that in our suit.
Kwara, the Kwara say,
Kwame,
I tell monitor a channel. Omoji to me, Yainadi, Oko.
You didn't and I'm telling you, I have a right to say, Supreme Court, our Assembly throughout no, intentia. And this matter, so long as God lives, so long as our constitution says, in the name of God Almighty, we the people, Chairman General, God will speak. And I join Honorable Kwame Duncan say, Maameno Diana no only human court to be assessed for the court say. Onfanko, the court that errs not.
Bakwamna, or they call ECOWAS, or they call other courts.
Supreme Court. I say ECOWAS court. Any other court. Ghana is Supreme Court. Any ECOWAS court. ECOWAS court. What kind of judgment no?
Oh, the ECOWAS. Almost Ghana a mistake and I wrong.
Did you read the judgment? You see,
no.
And let me say, let me tell you, you have your view. And Kwamna was not wrong when he says it was your manifesto. Your manifesto was not contained
in the manifesto.
Manifesto.
Which page? But you say it was in our manifesto.
Manifesto.
Why
more than
Abutre. Mori
Yes. The National Constitution 1992 way. The yatro no. Yemra di adwuma organ ha. Wo ye no shebadwani. Unim say edo so chen way. True or false?
Oh, true.
You know so say
but this is the fundamental.
Of course. That's why we call it the parent law. Oh, me miss our question. I'm just making a statement. And someone who jina okrofomu kan ye. Ebia na ye ni manifesto no mu. Nso kan o manifesto. The American dan say President Mahama, I know ye candidate Mahama. Or kan wonanum say obe restructure judiciary. And indeed the Chief Justice could not continue to occupy the office. He said it. Also, President Mahama said it. And Kwame, you have removed her. You have purported to say, she was removed on account of the Constitution 1992. Yemu binom, yejidi say, mubwa. Monkoso to me wa munsemunne. You may do what you want. We are convinced of what we are convinced about. What I know, Kwame, is that power is only transient. And eventually, this truth we talk about will come out. Chairman General, me friend non true.
Odiatri Honobisimi Misa is Dr. Bonfe saying traditionalists don't worship God. He is always talking about worshippers of God to be Christians and Muslims.
I didn't say so.
No. He didn't say you said so.
Okay.
He says you're always saying Christians and Muslims. You don't
I'm looking at them, the numbers.
And then
Muslims and about 5%. Generally, no kwame or the abano crowd or Buama Sem say, or my usual cry, not to say, you do no, ye yamisum for. Men are not so somno. Kwame wouldn't say, Ansana ye di a by 70s and ye didn't pass him. Ye di wasem, Emma, wasem, ye jitum se would ye de ansana, ye exact punishment.
Say ye did toko no asem ya who said as a
Chairman General, MPP for elections on where men kasa who be bread, the Mekan say it is no time for entitlement or I like this person or I don't like that person.
Me pay.
A futobia, me papa John Ajikum Kufuor, His Excellency. Or say, I'm the first chairman of the New Patriotic Party, BJ Darocha. You saw your friend is Adino. Darocha, Now, Kwame say that we belong to the same party does not mean that we are or should be friends.
Okay.
But bound by the ethos of the party, the ethos or the spirit of the party, we must work together to build a country. E won mu say ye nyina ye wadon amanyoko e hu hia say ana enkyere say ese say we ye madamfo ana we ye madamfo. Na mmom ye nyina ye say ye wosom aye wo gidie ba ku mu no ese say ye ka bom enka bom nkyere say ensusunu ye nie ntam. In fact, unity is not the same as uniformity. All it means is that we accept to work with our differences or live with our differences. Enti ye nyina ye nwene ba ko de na mmom say ye ka bom na ye adwuma nti me de adesra na me de be ma omo say omanfo na mo se omo ye mo members na akoto aba ya to aba yi kwam na dan kan say onye titreni ene ya to aba yi Honorable Azuma say onye chorchorfo say Honorable Azuma empe Honorable Duncan na Honorable Duncan empe Azuma eye omuntemu asema de nipa na eto aba na ka kire mo ne say mo pemu asemo mo pemu asemo ye pese mo ye adwuma maye. Accept that. And this was a spirit I lived with when I used to be in partisan politics. I will say so and I'll continue to advocate for that in national politics, even outside the partisan fray. Chairman General, omoye ne sa ebe boa mo ankasa na boa omamu ni nyina de meka ewo eno hono no. Omoye ni ya eyema omo ni nyina.
Nasaku Nete, good morning to you. Thank you very much for listening. Nasaku Nete. Muchacho says, Dr. Kabila, you're being emotional. Justice has been served. Remember, if it had gone in her favor, you would not have sent it to God. We really respect you, so tone down on the emotions, Muchacho. And then Frank says, the letter of the NDC manifesto did not include the removal of the Chief Justice Tokonum, but the spirit was to remove her at all cost. So you are looking at the spirit.
10th October 2024. Ena minwe pani Samuel Tete akwa ahomegye electoral commission or issue statement on the polling stations in Ghana. Ana ye dey to saba no. Total na ye 40,975. Special centers na no ye 328. Ena main polling stations na 40,647 addition for the records.
Medasi na me kone menim Kwamna Brim, why can be 20 minutes in Japan?
Yes,
Memo be 555 na me here.
Before we come to Gold Board.
Kai there 5 minutes old.
Hey, Kwame.
I'll make it make 5 minutes. Kwame.
Ansana Baba Gold Board embed kakraba. The argument here, Mr. Indirectly, you are insinuating there. Say you Adibiara knowing NDC more manifesto muna. What can outside the manifesto no question? Say you. That is indirectly. That is the argument you are making. Maybe also you didn't follow your presidential candidate then, or probably you have not been reading around. This is 3rd September,
which
2023.
Year? Okay.
Listen to the then presidential candidate of the NDC. Listen, if you have not been reading around. Kwame
now?
Yes, John Mahama speaking. And he had met, it was NDC lawyers, conference of lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
He met them. This was his statement. It is scary. It is scary. Because it threatens, if I start from there, one of the scariest existential threats to any democracy is when citizens think their judiciary holds no use or value to them. This is the security threat. This is the security threat the national security apparatus tried to draw the attention of the nation to recently, but was poorly received by the president and his party. It is scary because it threatens the peace and stability of our democracy. We must correct this fast-spreading notion. If care is not taken, we will get to a stage where people will have no qualms about taking the law into their own hands because they do not have the confidence that they can get justice from the system. There is therefore the urgent need for the Ghanaian judiciary to work to win the trust and confidence of the citizenry and erase the widely held perceptions of hostility and especially political bias in legal proceedings at the highest court of the land. Unfortunately, we have no hope. He is speaking. Unfortunately, we have no hope that the current leadership of our judiciary can lead such a process of change. We can only hope, this is Mahama speaking, we can only hope that a new Chief Justice will lead a process to repair the broken image that our judiciary has acquired over the last few years. You come and see there that you cannot make reference directly to your manifesto. This is the presidential candidate speaking. That he can only hope, and they together as the party, as the conference of lawyers, they can only hope that a new Chief Justice. What does that mean logically? It means that this lady who is there cannot be trusted to carry on the reform that we're looking for, and that it's only when we have taken her off the scene, brought a new person, that we can begin to see the reform we are looking for. And that is exactly when he came into office, he has put into place. And you tell me that on Yada, I go to make trace, I have reference to the party's manifesto. Then essentially you are saying, in the maybe on your party manifesto, you are telling me, my junior brother, you are telling me that it was complete nonsense. That's what you are telling the entire country. It's Kwame. It was one which was clearly said to the Ghanaian people, the Ghanaian people, and he did it at a conference of NDC lawyers. It was at the same meeting. And look at your NDC full lawyers there. Hold yourself in readiness to be taken to the judiciary, to the bench, in order that we balance what we have today. All this, if you read, if you get this statement, read and apprise yourself of the things he said, which he came into office and he operationalized them. Kwame, having said that, and you see, I will continue to hold on to this matter. My adore me will be there. My name, Wanyaban. On your do people to more than says to there. My name, Araba Esaba Saki Tokonu, Bono Yeni. So when I go to sleep, I sleep.
Let me sleep on your time at this.
Gold board.
Yeah.
I mean, see, as a main panutum, a main panutum and a bohunusu. Separe who impadusua, manutum, Namanutuma. Sammy Gyamfi, Kwame. Fi Afraba Keso Penim, we Kufa do not beam. Umwa, also wonder we yen you president na ga so hwe na ma sindo ye wi ba wo mi adza no nsama o ka aguno do nsama akasa mpemfo o hihye ho ahoroba nda sa hwe na lifestyle kwame sa hwe no ho a about 20 or so bodyguards are one no ho na the type of vehicle so use Sammy Gyamfi every government policy was the Fadwe reality, and that this country requires of the rulers then or those in officers then a certain level of transparency and accountability. In fact, accountability was a sing song. Sammy Gyamfi was sing song. The order to me food amount for one. A queer number of man, a bachelor, when you say that the Madi, it was can to do here, no die, the Madi. Sammy Gyamfi was all over the place. Today, he has power, and he says that when people criticize him, they are bitter. Come in, all them that won't bring you one see, sir. Oh yeah, IMF report now. 3 areas. Quick, because I know this is a running story. And we may come back next week. It will still be live. And I'm not them. The IMF attributed the enormous losses to several operational and financial factors. And financial factors, including service and asset fees paid to the gold board. Service which is rendered by the gold board. Even that one, there are losses. Kwame, discounts offered on gold sold to off-takers and exporters. Discounts. Then exchange rate losses. It's a major operational loss. And if you put all of that together, and I hear Professor Boppin, your own Professor Boppin.
No.
I don't know why these days you don't speak to him. He's saying that this is even a part of the iceberg. As I say, a proper assessment of the losses which the economy is incurring from the operations of the gold board. This is just a tip. Now, Kwame, let Sammy Gyamfi and those in his circles, those who think like him, let them continue to delude themselves. If it takes even 1,000 years, they will be called to account.
But that's it. This one says, Chairman John, Kwame Duncan's emotions rise. He speaks English. Remind him he's Okokoko on Peace FM, watching from Milton Keynes, UK. Bright sends that one. And then,
10 years, 100 years. Let's say Rajab for the Rajab Korea. About someone ensure there, my men as Chief Justice of this Republic. Neither there she was incapable or incompetent in terms of the office she occupied.
No, mum.
Nani there. Opeyi bi no obo po there. So ba bema Ghana foto abamana. Na so ba bema. Obeyi ma me peyin na fio. Na Ghana fo yeto abaman mo ba so. Oyan pepepe we yi Chief Justice na fio. Na mo ye inje wo mi there. Ma men ifi biara nyin ho. Na mokoda da ma ka chan there. Ewraza obo hia nyinara abra ye mojetwa ba wo hia nane yem na onyim hia ono ewraza kronara onyimin fibra na oye mojetwa ba wo nane yem na so di mfia pem kra mpo a mami continue to raise your head high nyame obo ni wiade odi atrentene odbamo mama bibiara nguwa blam wumba wonananom nanankanswa woba they will always remain proud that it was just for political reason na yeda mama ye boni bi na wo you fee office as Chief Justice na soja fumpemfu wa papa nom Kwame in this republic and its history yenya damda they had to abewe na soja fumpemfu a the very top the very echelon oya no soro ayi se nkwan a ngwe no ogusoro no amankwan ye fen onu na bai wa ba pam wonyina efi ho mpempem a woda ho nyina yakoda ya mamudue na bi oso ho a yeto abawie wo ya Ghana fo mapa mbrante ne nketesi a wa ko school wo a won ko school mpo na mom wo yedwuma na chief of staff owura da Julius Zabra ba abotro letter we yi mu nyina da mugufie owura ba o mi asema kan kira mo de monum nsu mfontwe ope na achara biara owo na afi na se mo hwe ma bisa na chere repair chere nyaso ya woso yanse wo kakra mfa oye abana ya to dan miminde
wow party.
That's right.
Chairman General.
Yes.
We are raising issues are very I just want for the record say
this is a running agreement with
I just want to establish that menya kwai
so manuia
medas
hey abende wakato mo na taf nkwantana wofana etana waze katon kakano pe amma tuti jama da kwa katafiro itu kakake so si jeruwa no kamo abutara o mada na chuide yeyimutu na homa na yeyimisan ami
kwamina
ma yeyanda no meminde. It is a culmination of a processor party ni Sefa polling station over 30 how many you are a student of Ghana's election
polling stations there are 2024 there were over 40,000
oh no no okay in the polling station over 40,000
yeah
every single one of them I got 60,000 no it's not up to 60
go and do 60
polling stations
in
2020 we had 38,920
yes. I was stuck in the 30s
yes so in 2024 the number increased to 40,000 something
40,000
I will get the exact figure
but 60 will be too
no it's not up to 60,000
no.
It's 40,000 something
it's Kwame ya to no daba kama ye yimpemfo a enum a wo hwe ho
40,647
okay thank you and ye fi ho a ma oda so ye electoral area no so reforms are yakwa kayan wo oye Legon sports stadium ye di ibi akan ma nimu ayedu wo electoral area and ofi electoral area so ya twado ya ko oye constituency so kwa me ye fi wo fe a few still remain undone na mimde mpemfu guda wo ye ho adwuma wo bo hwe mani na so wa to no da ba me ye mpemfu ma wa ba da no no na nunsu ado yin de danu min de wetwemi na de chi kosi western north for so ya ho de na memenda ne 15 of them out of the 16 kwa me kama fe sa hwa ahu keka party mba enwa wehu ma ya tena ho afeko na bosuma esion oseson osawotwi wehu ma ya tena ho a kwa me aka bibi tire ai wukente papa na dekeja ya pese kenta nyamina dum ejanum wodi jahe a yede koyade yakwa wobo hensabrane na yakwa akoton na yeza kafa ya pese enwo mi kire enti party fun na Ghana fo dodo na wehu ma yetenwi na onu nsaso se hwe fimfiman toma oyema meda kwame matraha makada opeyina wo fan owura esibo ena madimanyo serimu so a na yamangote party mpemfo so a why ministers da why MPs da why executives da ena dodo na so wajitum de se yenye esibo mo beda party na na ode enyo bi so a ni sem yadin ye na onyi madwuman kwa me da se de fofom a ba fofom fasoro a ba fasoro e paase kwa botu akwa akahwo na onyi wesinsam a no so oyo owura kodwo ham e kra meka no asam a oyo former constituency chairman for Efutu
no
owura las marking onyi ni ye adwuma papa ma wonyim kodwo ham na mwazem a obo ya mencha da party funi na wo hunu dam Emma agency bo ena wodi kitan Emma Kojo Ham wafa na wadina ta agency bo nachi secretary so de Kwame na adwuma wa ye as MPP mpo ono ho tanti na Kwame owo adwuma ma wafa na as far back as 2022 or 2023 Techimensa his service to the MPP a small dasum Oshasi Kwame obey communications officer for 2 or 3 terms. Nambazumba obo ma party fujina do de I import sa another import food be pan wo pian won twin sign na wo to the man mo obey secretary ejuma no so Kwame sakacham da manda osanda tejimensa ejuma no ya I will not have any hesitation at all or you committed to whatever he does. Nti so matina ha maka da si ajenyo sama onu no botu wa yejuman party dodo na wodi tuma wodi secretary wodi man nyame chada enwu a wopo won nyina so waya akabirefo if a deputy secretary if a women's organizer if a organizer na nkasa onu pode me ni yejuma hwa asa was a secretary oya Kwesi Saki nti if a won nyina akabirefo papa na yeyi ho ba Kwame. My contribution on the election of these officers for the central region is not about they having been elected.
But
my Americans doing that. My other young no here. Emi Kwame Dankamite Kwame election mukobi mamulusibi. In fact, my first attempt was parliamentary candidacy from Fantima West.
Hey, I see.
Yeah, Kwame. I mean, many representative Fantaman. Mamma, up and down. You shall organize police station levels, electoral areas, constituency. I went to elections and I lost. I am more newscast as he. Rajab could not say, honorable Harry. I mean, it's the media newscast now. I don't know, they was a crabama, a spy. I'm a movie pato. But when Muma babe, Messiah Moko original secretary contest. I'm Moko no so way. Ebe. As a bay. It would my so cold. I see that Messiah, the movie. Papa. Second one, that's a bad little bit of the track. Quite better. I bet we are in the bathroom. Kwame Mampaba. I went on, committed myself to the service of this party. Kwame Namoko, oya radio programs as far to Western region to go and defend this party.
Wow.
Ejuma me sir Rugbe who efiatum na amanfo a wo fin frimanto one friend virtually every radio station that is the period actually in towards 2000 President Kufuor. Every radio station within Central region as far as to Takrade, defending this party. When I had gone to elections and lost as regional secretary, Kwame, Ononon Sasso, na Echi 2005, Mukwe Mamma, successful. Successful, no so, Mukwa Dudia until I became a minister. And President is about there. You can't keep 2 positions. Continue to be secretary and then also a minister. And Tifako. Na Mukwa Kafako. Mamma Kaka to do that. Among for Yakwari ma aspirations are not my Yashusha Yansankan. It does not mean that the world has come to an end.
Okay.
Mosi and your Botako there. Yadi, I want to be over him, Majeshu Yara over him, Yadi Juma. Emma 2028. 2028, we need to kick this government out of office. We need to do that. In fact, it is in the best interest of Ghana to return NPP into office in 2028. And see, I home for Biara over here. Za all those here, all that Yadabaye, Yadabaye Juma. Look, I remember Kwame, 2016. Yeah. There was not a single day that I did not go to the communities to campaign. I was stationed in Cape Coast North. Not a single day passed that Kwame Danka was not in communities. Whereas I was there, others were all over in the other constituencies. Every single day we were going to the people, speaking to them, talking to them, explaining things to them. Energy now, towards 2028. This is the energy I recommend. And see, I had the Obrimazin Queen, Nebinuso, Wedin Kogu. About what the on to me at the pay. I did Binum and Oberwin. And see, don't do I walk away 1 year. Let us not be downhearted. Yanka Yanga, Yanta, ages, Budachi. Yanta, praying for you at the constituency level. Constituency chairman with your executives sit down, divide the constituency into areas, assign constituency officers to these areas. Let them go and join with the electoral area coordinators, join further down with the polling stations. Let us start the fight or the battle today, right away. The battle has already begun. Now, you read the mark, we are told there, October, so it's icing on the cake, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Quacoche or national. Now, ye national pay for so. Ma wechi aden with zikum with mwa prakope na ewie kwa prakope. But in the days ahead, mamoso kaka mo wamaka wo national painful won. Kwame, I will begin to say my mind on those we think the electoral college would have to elect them to make it complete.
Me MPP ni, I have raised issues about the removal of the former Chief Justice. If you want to reduce no say MPP for asema, you are wrong. 2, Kwame. When you say a Council of State, it is without a former Chief Justice sitting on it.
Yeah.
Because the only former Chief Justice of Tisono, she resigned, even though she didn't give a reason. It was because of the horrendous removal of Mame Tokun. Look, okay, as I'm not I say, say the intention do that. To say the me mafabi mudana. As same way say obetia. Chairman General, what can Kadia when Nkuma's own removal of your friend saying Akukosa and other Wenum SCN, he gave them all their entitlements. Have you wondered if the woman has been giving her entitlement? What's it no? Mr. Shiramu here to say, Chairman General. Media the mesrani say Honorable Kanda Pasamo Kaino or say Supreme Court decisions a unanimous dodo while more Chief Justice Dian Kansimbia. Ye can samoa a number of your free bentino for precision to quote Abdul Malik Kubako. Precision. Angaloteso Michan.
Precision. Precision.
Kwame. Matis and Sammy Gyamfi press conference.
Okay.
Oh yes. Crap. Anna.
I don't know crap.
And Pacho. With the greatest respect, let's use that word again.
Auntie.
Respect to let's use that word again.
Auntie. Press conference.
Yes, but this is radio.
I want to wait for his responses to some of the issues. Because issues are SSC doing combo. Chairman General, I me person my one the medical jina illegal mining.
I won't share the name baby sir.
Get what me boni to. The other kind. Say ya unu say illegal mining na ekoso no a legacy problem. Partly yentiasie. Me wo Professor LK Agbosu ni PhD thesis September 1980 ewa ha. Chairman General.
September 1980.
1980. That time now PhD thesis yan capo about 500 pages. O try papa. O tracy ya the issues
but it's very learned.
So solid. Chairman General.
What's your friend name?
LK Agbosu.
Reading his article.
Thank you.
Solid.
Chairman General. In the same way as the chiefs in the colony had not been conquered, the Secretary of State declared, so were the Ashanti chiefs not conquered. The British government waived any right of conquest over them, which could be implied therefrom by entering into treaties with them. This was a sure indication that the chiefs still had the power to alienate such lands and the right to do so
had not been passed to the colonial government. Yeah, governance system you operate. Minister, how now the minister that? The proper place of chiefs. Proper place of chiefs. You resolve where? House of Chiefs. They exist there as advisory. What else power? What power do they have? And so true power never left them. Amamatise, the chief of staff, say there should be a bipartisan. This matter is not bipartisan, no, bigger than bipartisan. For religious leaders, citizens like me, ordinary ones, academics and intellectuals who have studied into this like me must be involved. Civil society organizations must be asked. All the citizens of Ghana, as I say, they won't come up because from Swama Yakase, who from a good year was a simua. I be a bindia, a colonial relic. That's what the colonial government did after the failure of the Crown Land Bill of 1897. Chairman General, enti otina sase soa oya asase ni wura. Yesi ye ko hu from a good year no ni hutumi bia. Asase no kra no oman ni timi de compulsion ekofa. Abra oni wo hwe ka de ebe ya no say ye betwa compensation. Empirical evidence say compensation mpo ye ntua. Enti de bia no ownership this segregation no enti there is a problem. Obitimi ma license won kra ha. Now what was asase ne aba. Ye see too.
Come have a contrary view.
Of course. Enti the problem must be solved first with a legal regime change of ownership. Instead of 100% to the state, omanum for 50 or 60%. Imperial domain.
Is that what will solve Galamsey?
It will partly solve it.
It won't solve it.
Kwame, me make solutions.
Kwame, solutions. Tell us about
partly.
About 11.
It will not. Kwame,
Chibani says, send my greetings to my acting class prefect Kabila. And my brother from another mother, Kwame Duncan. I am always happily listening to the Honorable in your studio. That guy is a true definition of there's nothing God cannot do. The MP for Krufom.
Yes.
May God lift him more than he has done for him. Chief Bani, and I didn't cry the by. Kwabna Michelle, I'm Charles, and yes, I am.
Make a law enforcement. Yamam running your Juma.
Okay.
They are tossing me and son, and they say, Yaman and Nanomunya or Muchefa, as I said, Womunya, Ewadiemu. Chairman, the last one, a attitudinal change. On Maya Yetimua, I didn't say, when you sika, and away ubia, wabobra. On Maya Yetimua, Aya Sisie. Omaya yetimu aya adufure pe omaya yetimu aya nka nokre wo ka nokra uye obaye tamfo. The only way to rise in politics is to be deceptive, and you know this.
Professor Kingsley Nyako of Kwadaso says, Kabila, you are a wanted man.
Yes, I know. Prof, I'll avail myself. And the time the American say, I'm a
wanted man must be arrested
immediately. Nipa ho do ene no kredie ni anim kan na mayi ye betu illegal man so sama na ye.
This is a summary of the IMF report. After the bulky report, they came out with this, which is the selected issues dated August 2026. International Monetary Fund IMF country report number 26/213. Those who are doing fact check. And it says, International Monetary Fund, Washington, D.C. This has been accepted by government, and government is acting on the concerns raised by the IMF.
Of particular concern is a persistent campaign of lies being waged by one Alexander Afenyomakin and his ilk against the good board over the past couple of months. This sustained, relentless campaign reached a reckless crescendo yesterday at a press conference addressed by him within the precincts of Park.
Abusuya, they say the assembly critical pa. Free say Sammy Gyamfi ordinary brain nyina aka akɔhwe honorable Afenyomakin. Say ono ena etutu mfuturo de Ghana fo ani ena Afenyomakin so say ono won tokwa bi a enye ono Afenyomakin na say ono ne ko anase Ghana fo nemum IMF no a sika mode ko adwaman so sika eba o my Ghana mu ni bibia no wo mani di akire na wo mu hunu mo no wo mo na dia ba betu dwa se e car na mo se kane mo abɔ no 214 million Ghana cedi no sorry $1 million no enye sa na emum eye 1.7 billion ya IMF for edu mo document nyina ba bonte se Ghana munsom na munhya ase ni hudwuma na ekwan hodo amofa so amobɔ ka wo gold sector hono no munsiesie na mototo nanso gold board for se la da bi da ye moka Bank of Ghana de aba beto abonte kire se eka ne de aba nanso gold board for se da bi da ye moka ne no na MPP amonyokuo ya honorable Afenyo Markin ye minority leader di wona ni mo no mo ye press conference na omo press conference o mo ye nyina ne se e o mo nwanwa pa se de parliament o mo nyina agya tum se krata no a IMF de aba no ese se o mo si hunkonya no mo fa ho adwene na o mo timi di ho dwuma ema eboa o my Ghana se de be ya obi nka se gold board nhihye ya aban de aba no enye eye na emom si ebetena ho ameka surusuro aba de bi da efiri se e wo mi se NDC aban na de aba na nso Ghana na eye dia enti wo mo nhwe ma ne nsei wo mo nhwe ma amanyosem nti NDC fo kata no kroso emma sebi akina bi no oyo na bi nkonkoto ye IMF fo akuru nkyere wo mo nkrata de aba kire se Bank of Ghana nhihye ya wo mo yoye any gold board wo mo ka wo mo tripam ho no e ka wo no mo bo ye ni nanso so se gold board adwumakuo bagia tum se ya boka na ya hyase ne ya hu adwuma no gold board se wonye ntum da na mpokora na se ka bi wo ho a enuru saa ya wo mo e ka no ne no na se de enne da yisu gold board kokoye nsɛmtwerefo nhie mu a wo mani bire ne nyina wo mo de akɔhye Kwame na Alexander so mo kyese Afenyo Markin na etu mfuto gu Ghana fo ani nanso so Ghana fo se da bi Afenyo Markin de wo ka ne de IMF fo de aba enti se mu nkyiremu ni anu yie bi a IMF nsɛm no mo kan na se mo kɔ na mo kɔ ka se da bi nya no korɛ IMF si aboka na nya no korɛ 1.7 billion dollars na nya no korɛ Bank of Ghana so aboka na nya no korɛ ene mo fa mu nkyiremu mra na ma mo nhye dan koye krokro de John na mo fa mani bere nkohwe MPP fo so se wo mo na enam etu mfuturo gu sebi Ghana fo ani nti nsɛm bebre no a na akoso na ebere ya MPP fo yo mo press conference ne enko tie kakra bi mra na wono mo nsɛm ne nkrata evidence omo de koya e kire se IMF fo kire se mo aboka no na ye de aba ye wie susu wa nsɛm kakra bi asame Gyamfi ka ne efa de ekoso any public accounts committee wono mo chairperson ye ma me so de nsɛm kakra to dwa wo sa gold board nsɛm ya ho na nso de bia NDC fo defend se enya no kora ye nko tie bi mra.
Now let me emphasize that the latest IMF report, which is the IMF's sixth and final review of Ghana's extended credit facility program, completed on 10th of July 2026, concerning the financial consequences of the NDC government's domestic gold purchase program. According to the IMF, this domestic exchange program, which the Bank of Ghana accumulated gold and intermediated foreign exchange to the private sector, generated, for emphasis, $1.7 billion US, which is equivalent of 22 billion in 2025 alone. So you are looking at approximately 1.5% of Ghana's entire gross domestic product. And again, we are not ignorant. We are not speculating. We are not manufacturing allegation. It is not partisan interpretation. It is a finding reported by the IMF after examining Ghana's economic and financial program, and it demands honest answers. Let me have this. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, this is a summary of the IMF report. After the bulky report, they came out with this, which is the selected issues dated August 2026. International Monetary Fund, IMF country report number 26/213. Those who are doing fact check. And it says, International Monetary Fund, Washington, DC. This has been accepted by government, and government is acting on the concerns raised by the IMF. And to those who are thinking that the gold board has not incurred any losses because they decided to use Bank of Ghana as its alter ego, When I say alter ego, what I mean is that you use another institution to carry all your burdens on your behalf. So you appear clean. So you can conveniently say that the Auditor General has gone through your books and you do not have losses. But the losses were incurred by you. So how can you record profit and the cost is not incurred by you? Who does this? Anyway, the IMF says that, quote, in 2025, the significant scaling up of the domestic gold purchasing program operations led to losses of 1.67 billion US dollars, 1.5% of GDP, almost entirely related to the gold for reserve dot purchase. This amounted to a loss of 17% of the value of the dog gold sold by BOG. On whose behalf? Gold board. This is here. It's here. It's there. Paragraph 13. Page 10. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to emphasize something. We, the minority, we work as a team. When the minority leader speaks, he speaks for the party. The party has a political committee we call the tripod. The flag bearer, who is the leader of our party, taking us to Jubilee, the party machinery and parliament. These three units work together with a policy coordinating chair. My respected colleague Kojo Oponkruma, we coordinate and speak with one voice. It doesn't matter who speaks. So when a matter is raised on policy, a chief executive of an institution cannot choose and single the leader out for insults. In the minimum, the caucus knows it brief and will not speak and blow hot air. That is the report I've shown you. So now the Ghanaian people will see who is ignorant, who is doing mischief, who is lying to the public. We will not just come out and say anything because of partisan convenience. What is happening is bad. There is crisis ahead of us. Our friends must better listen and pay attention and not allow the IMF to rather come and talk to them before they listen. When things go bad in our country, it affects all of us. So we are here to hold their feet to the fire and make them accountable to the people of Ghana. We are not here to trade insults, and that must be clear to them.
You may be a cosu and maimua, see me and only young car, a jigoa, a yankasa, and see a trase yeka. Na yama o man penin so, nini e bani hoso, e was an you may, no shakon be faswa, or the be see no quine. A dickay high entity, a gold board in some seminar. Nanu ya IMF 4, Article 4, program yom release busumi ya. Eka anadia dance die bebre efim abase die na minority ni kenyina efa gold board ho se losses bebre ekoso wo ho ai se sa ban twa ni hwe no se na eye no kre wo hwe Bank of Ghana broni beka so monkum tabu o mu bu for 2025 ye friend financial statements no Bank of Ghana ka se sika omode bu a gold board ye ejuma a omo bo ho ka no eye $214 million. Eno enkoda nchen aka na mienu na afe no abewiye no aban so sign ma gold board 4.5 billion Ghana cedis yenkote ne yenkohwa se na $240 million na Bank of Ghana ka se eye ka omobo wo gold board no I'm force entisa crampo na ye 1.7 billion Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 22 billion Ghana cedis. Menuam anese for any teacher for mugufi mo pese ye fam adwuma me kai se minister ne kan se oni sika 6 billion no ka so finances ni nyina se about 6 billion na sa sika ni bi eni ho ye de be finances no na mu ye 22 billion de e wo hwa ye de beboka a ye nya so nsihu bia nanso se mu na sisi na nka ye fa mu a 6 billion yi ye di kan unemployment a e peja ni mu adu 30% no na nka megidi se annual brass ne etoso mienu mu ba be ye ejuma na muso metua moto abroni kan se income taxes ama aban inti 6 billion ye se aban ato atwe o na nka obenya ho mfaso nanso 22 billion ye fa ne se ye ka wabo a ontimi nti wo bebia ye bisa ye ho se ana say ene etena se edibu oman edi run company ana company ba kope o ya bo ho ka 22 billion ye toso menu sa 22 billion ni mra ye ba ban mu 2017 2018 na ye banking hihye no banking crisis no 22 billion ya bi ne edi tua customers 1.2 million na omusika eden akoloki wo bank na banks ni ntimi ntua omuka 1.2 million customers ene edi tua omuka na so ba akofo ejuma ba akope ya bo ho ka 22 billion na sa ban ka se oni 6 billion or the best nurses ejuma ana oni sika ama minister of education kra ka se oni di onya ye obefa mu ejuma mu na so clearance na be kire sika aban e de ka niswade hu no won so befa nkofo ho no eni ho sebe sa sika we nyina 22 billion ni ye de ama oba akofo e ma ye den ye ntimi ente ho emfaso na so ye de e why mu kakra de ma Ministry of Education ka say ye teacher fo ya wo fie a ye mfa mu yi ya see 40,000 teachers wo fie a ye mfa mu yi mjidi se nanka ya femu dodo na a enemu ye adwuma na mo soso ye mu ye adwuma keke o nanso mo so mu tia eto through mu income taxes e ma ban den enye bi mo san so enye sika mu di bi beto nyoma didwa na mu di didwa aban so gigi a o gigi friend revenue no in the form of VAT any excise duty no eno so be konkan minuanom na anu ya minister ne de media budget review no eba parliament ye nya ehu ye emma ne kasa ye nto ade a enye omusem no mabo no mo ka ho asem VAT akofom VAT aban ye ntimi emiti ni VAT target for half year excise duty taxes eno so akofom aban ye ntimi emiti nti nye omanu keke no mo de ka numbers ni na di adanse ye se ye nto ade wo krom because sika eni krom aban en spend it the right places na se obakofo pe company baako pe udi 22 billion a ehun faso bia ensan emma e de mom na ehwe asese ya sebe sika ne ebi be wahi na yetimi di aiden e de edidwuma foforo ebe boa ama mpuntuo ani broni be ka se economy be ebe sachira na nkofo ato ade ye maame num so omudidwa no so omso eden omenye sika ni bi e de ahwe omba eno na ye ka se president Mahama ye srew twa weni ko gold board na hwe nioma a ekoso wo ho esan se wa na wo ka kire yen mi bi atwem afi 2025 say entities ana aban companies na enya ade no wo be hwe ni esese o maji so mo mmodi o be maji o ni esese wo yi free ho kro mo mmodi nso a wo be den wo be ye ne saa nti yesrew ni abai die menye hwe han twa weni na be hwe gold board asema make mejidi se utie na supemu a na so wo muaye bi a wo be kire wadwen na mu enye eye na ebeboa ama 1.7 billion dollars loss no akọ enye eye na 22 billion Ghana cedis na ene aye kasei ahwe from enye eye no na be ma na ba na mu cheche ye mu kwan ye fa so e ba ya ye gidi se bibi wo esese ye boa na usi ano a ye be ye ne sa ni etwa to okra ne se hwe parliament budget ne ba ha ya approve ministry department and agency bi obi ade nti ye kire o se Ministry of Education ye be ma no teku Ministry of Health ye be ma no sempoa obi ade ye kire nanso enne wo be hwe obi ade obi ani ho a agency bi ani ministry bi ani ho a ne budget a parliament approve ye din man 100% agi gold board pe aka na mienu we de anyame na meka ye ye penny or that gold board ano eno kan say aka na mienu roni be ka say 48 hours na afi no akwa ewiye no na aban transfer sika 4.5 billion Ghana cedis e bia me ntimi nka no ba e bia be pepe 4.5 billion Ghana cedis na aban e de ma gold board ubisa say Ministry of Education a eye free SHS no ahen ne e de ma no Ministry of Interior say recruit police prison officers fire officers and immigration officers ahen ne de mom ye mom 100% of our budget ana Ministry of Nkukon Nketi eye agric wo hwe kura na agric minister no ni PA challenge deputy minister ne say o minister ka so ma me sika say nanso enye no krese sa sika no e no de ma me o ma me 1.1 na mo so see ma me 1.6 billion show ministry a carry out policy na obakofo pe ya ma 4.5 billion Ghana cedis aka na mienu na afe no akọ awieye yes President Mahama say ontwa nani na omra no ombehwe na afe so ne ha me ne ya ayam hyehye baako ene say ejuma bia na ekuo bia se wo ye ejuma ema obi a se we ejuma na wo ye no eye finchim meka say eye finchim a eye transparent utimi account for it percent yetie wo hwe ya Bank of Ghana report it share no 2025 financial statements and say loss omu make wo gold board hun $214 million. IMF say enyesa na $1.7 billion. Mi bisa accounting firm na audit Bank of Ghana no difference of 1.4 billion no eba ne say omo ehu ana omo hu yom de share hifa omo mra esan say we die broni beka say their credibility is on the line. We want to know how they treated the difference, no, a little over 1.4 billion, no, such that I'm recording 240 million loss per instead of the 1.7 billion loss, no. Because we dear a ya sifim, na ya yam share, say ya auditorium your financial statements are bad one thing. A Bank of Ghana and Shushe who said there be the Amaka said $240 million no, and tesa na 1.7 billion. Timestre accounting firm na omwodete Bank of Ghana so say omumra no mbe cheche mu we nya Bank of Ghana nko asem omuso mu de ka ho bi no mu cheche mu kwan ye fa so a 1.4 billion no omehu anaso mu hu ya omu de share he e wo financial systems omuma ye hu because ye ejuma we ye amo man no se bibia ebe ye fenchi bibia be ye krojin se ye baako e wo Ghana saa na IMF so hu esese ye baako eye mienu wo Ghana saa na IMF no hu esese ye mienu na enye 214 e wo Ghana losses no 214 na IMF ekohu ya o say 1.7 billion ye besre ye poman yi ye poman kanko Ghana for ato abama mwene NDC for 2/3 of the parliamentary caucus yes remo mo me hu mra mfaso e ma Ghana for anything yes President Mahama say onhwehwe sa nyuma we nyinemu no mmoa yen na bebi eda no ye mfa nto bebi wo ho esese yesi hu kwan a yetimi esi hu kwan na de esi se 1.7 billion at eye 22 billion Ghana cedis ke betimi di afa a teacher for ne nurse for a ene a omutifie ye betimi assign so di bi achechire ne ye de aboa agenda 111 na ma ye wie hospitals na ma yare sabia ene aban a etwemu ene na do danko akufo ado aban PP government no ebe ye ya esi ho se sikeni ho sika na gold board a yedi 22 billion emo a yentimi nti ho ka ebiom nanso nanke yedi ye hospital ejuma sebe yenyanum ko hospital mu tua eto no se besan aba aban sem sebe yedi farm ofrey ye nurses ne ye teacher for ya ananka omu wie a yedi kan no aban unemployment rate na eso bete ne toso mienu so mbetua to ama aban nya ho faso 22 billion yi de akofom weni beka say it's gone down the drain nsu eguso ahye asei hwini ho aye betimi aya fa ho nanso de aka no ye pese ye bo ho ban nti we yenye oye enye se wo ba be ye nipa a odi asem we etudwa na emu kire wadwen na wadwen to asuma ye nyina hwe kwan ye be fa so a okene bi saa de we ensi biom so do man ne pa enye eye na wo de be hya ase wo do man ne pa wo be kire se dwuma e de ahye wonsan wo tosin wo beebi a kana ye moa wo ehu hia obia enfiti nya ne prekope wo tosin wo beebi a no aka ni aboa wo ni akire wo na okene bi awan tosin biom ama ni eti sei ansa ensi wo ye man so me da ye nyina ase nyame nhia ye nyina.
Your collaboration with the Ghana Gold Board since our establishment in April of 2025 is deeply appreciated. Our partnership has contributed significantly to the successful implementation of the mandates of the Gold Board, aimed at creating real value for the people of Ghana and maximizing national benefits from the exploitation and management of the gold resources of our dear country. Today's engagement, ladies and gentlemen, is simply intended to address a number of baseless allegations and deliberate falsehoods concerning the operations and financial health of the Ghana Gold Board that have been propagated by certain individuals in recent times. Of particular concern is a persistent campaign of lies being waged by one Alexander Afenyomakin and his ilk against the Gold Board over the past couple of months. This sustained, relentless campaign reached a reckless crescendo yesterday at a press conference addressed by him within the precincts of Parliament. Afenyomakin's modus operandi, which can no longer be allowed to go unanswered, is to repeat the same tired falsehoods as often as possible and on many platforms as he can, in the hope that repetition will somehow transform fiction into facts and mislead unsuspecting members of the public. The Gold Board therefore deems it necessary that the record be set straight once and for all to prevent him and others like him from continuing to distort the remarkable performance and transformational impact of the Ghana Gold Board. First, ladies and gentlemen, Afenyomakin and his followers alleged on several occasions on the floor of Parliament and in the media that the Gold Board made losses in its gold trade operations in the year 2025. This claim is a barefaced lie, which has been debunked time without number by the Gold Board. The audited annual reports and financial statements of the Gold Board for the year ended December 31st, 2025, prepared and published by the Auditor General of Ghana, discloses an operational surplus of 907 million Ghana cedis and an overall surplus of profit of 5.4 billion Ghana cedis. This is an incontrovertible fact. And today, to settle this matter once and for all, I brought to this auditorium a copy of the annual report and financial statements of the Gold Board, prepared and published by the Auditor General, not Sammy Gyamfi and the Gold Board. We don't audit ourselves. Now, if you check page 12 of this report, you will see that the Gold Board on its own, from its own operations, generated total revenue of close to 1 billion Ghana cedis and kept expenditure just around 109 million Ghana cedis. And so that is what we mean by operational profit or surplus of 907 million. It means that if you took all the revenue we generated as an organization and you deducted our expenditure from it, we had 907 million left. Now, because in the 2025 budget statement, government budgeted a revolving seed capital as its equity for the newly established Gold Board of 4.5 billion Ghana cedis, which monies hit our accounts on or about 30th of December 2025. Those funds had to be added to the revenue of the Gold Board because they were not encumbered, they were not depleted, they were not dissipated. And that is why the overall surplus is 5.4 billion. And this reporting was done by the Auditor General under what is known as IFSA's guidelines. And the chartered accountants and auditors understands this very well. So we brought 50 copies and we are going to distribute to you the audited financials of the Gold Board for 2025 as prepared and published by the Auditor General of Ghana, which puts to rest the false claim that the Gold Board has been making losses. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unsurprisingly, Afenyomakin and his followers have consciously chosen to disregard the Auditor General's confirmation that Gold Board did not record an operational loss. They now claim that the Auditor General did not have access to the full picture concerning the operations of the Gold Board. This position, ladies and gentlemen, betrays either a crass lack of understanding of how an external audit is conducted, or a deliberate determination to undermine yet another independent state institution, independent constitutional body, when its findings do not suit their mischievous narratives. I invite you, the media, you who are the fourth estate of the realm, to check the veracity of this claim with the Auditor General, and you will come to the conclusion that officials of the Auditor General were given unhindered access to all relevant information in the conduct of their audit of the 2025 financials of the Ghana Gold Board. All documents requested by them were supplied, and all queries raised by them in their management letter were satisfactorily answered. This is why not a single, and I repeat, not a single adverse audit finding was made by the Auditor General in its 2025 audited report on the Gold Board, not on imaginary or hallucinatory losses, not on procurement breaches or breaches of the Public Financial Management Act. Not a single adverse finding in the report of the Auditor General on accounts for the year 2025. The media, I humbly submit, must not condone and entertain the deliberate propagation of lies in the face of glaring evidence to the contrary. Now, friends from the media, after abusing these indisputable findings of the Auditor General to puncture the lie that the Gold Board made losses in 2025, Mahama and his associates quickly abandoned this line of attack and have now sought refuge in the recently published IMF reports on the Bank of Ghana's on Ghana's extended credit facility, in which the IMF reported that the Bank of Ghana recorded a loss of $1.7 billion under its domestic gold purchase program in 2025. Their position has now conveniently changed from the old false narrative that the Gold Board made losses to the new false narrative, which is that the Gold Board is responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing could be further from the truth. First, nowhere in the under-referenced IMF reports is Gold Board accused by the IMF as having caused the losses reported to have been incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the domestic gold purchase program. I challenge Afenyomakin to point to any page, paragraph, sentence, phrase, or punctuation mark in the said reference reports of the IMF where the Gold Board was accused by the IMF as the entity responsible for losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, what the IMF report states is that Bank of Ghana incurred losses through the sale of gold under its domestic gold purchase program of $400 million.
Please move to the microphone now if you have a question so that we save time.
Good afternoon, fellow Ghanaians, and to Mr. Sammy Gyamfi and Gold Board.
No lengthy preambles. Go straight to one question.
There is this story, I think about last 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, in respect to an individual who purchased the gold, sold it to one aggregator, and another person came in saying that the gold was given to another person to sell to another person, which has created a whole lot of issues with the Gold Board and this buyer or seller of gold or something, Raymond something. I want clarification on that and the next step into that. And respectfully, this is not a question. Now, makwala for kantamanto mano, especially Kumasi Dum Kediti Amano, Omon Teddy and Yeki Yenset Mochi, Netana, and now Phenomarcus or Cabra for Pano, and or the cheat, and Semu, Senya Beya, clarity will be made. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kamala Krisha, I work at TV3. About 2 questions for you. How do we take advantage of the record gold prices to generate meaningful fiscal revenue from the small-scale mining sector to support the development needs of the country? Then 2, semantics about the losses does not dispel the fact that there are losses. Shouldn't that be the concern? How is the gold board working to ensure that the amount that amounts to enough right on your books is not as recorded as of last year? And then the final one, a criticism is the model being used for the purchase of gold. Has that model changed this year? Why must we continue to provide discounts from a sector which we should see reaping its own windfalls?
I repeat the question.
The last one.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that the criticism is the model being used for the purchase of gold. How has that changed this year, and why must we continue to provide discounts from a sector which should have been reaping its own windfalls?
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ashford. So you will be the 4th questioner. We'll take a final one after you, and then come.
Thank you very much. My name is Patrick Ashford Wedu. I'm with Radio Gold. Mr. Sammy, I just want to find out from you. This is not the first time such allegation is coming up. And I want to find out if you feel jittery, you feel intimidated, and threatened, especially when the minority said the bill term is going to be high in other cases. What again will be the support that you will need from the general public, Ghanaians? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we'll take a final question in this round.
Good afternoon. My name is Romeo Tete, and I report for Ahonto 92.3 FM. My question is on the National Assay Laboratory. Will it independently verify every shipment of gold leaving Ghana, including gold produced by the large-scale mining companies? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Mr. Sammy Gyamfi will answer these questions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The first question was about the mandate of the Gold Board to fight gold smuggling. The questioner wanted to know what we have done about this. A lot of the successes we have chalked so far in terms of the significant increase in ASM gold exports from just about 63 metric tons in the year 2025 to 104 metric tons in the year 2024, to 104 metric tons in the year 2025 is as a result of the tightening of anti-smuggling compliance measures by the Gold Board. As you may be aware, President Mahama tasked us to establish a special task force that will focus on the fight against smuggling. This task force has been put in place. The President himself inaugurated it sometime last year. And even though we have some numerical challenges at the moment, we currently have over 150 members of this task force deployed across the 30 mining regions of Ghana, who on a day-to-day basis patrol the gold market. They are also in touch with security officers manning various entry and exit points. We collaborate with a lot of these security agencies like NACOP, who have men at all entry and approved entry and exit points, and the Ghana Immigration. And through this collaboration, I'm sure, as you've seen in the media, we've made a lot of arrest and seizure from suspected gold smugglers. So these enhanced compliance measures have really helped us to increase the quantity of gold that is exported through formal channels. Since 2025 January to date, 170 metric tons of gold is what we've been able to mop up. There is nothing like that. Totally unprecedented. That is why Ghana today is not only the lead producer of gold in Africa, but number 6 in the world. And the difference this time around is that we are not just doing well on that ranking, but that good ranking is translating into repatriated FX, which is now supporting FX market stability. And one thing as I say, dollar abusua ubiye pibia wunyebino. Na dollar bo abafomwa ama Ghana for so high. So that is what we have done in that area. There are different cases that are in court, and after the program we can give you the detailed updates because the cases are many, and due to time constraints I will not be able to give you update on all the individual cases. But thank you very much for your question. The second question I wanted to know about the McWood case, which is similar to the Dominic Bonsu case, and these are criminal cases being prosecuted by the Gold Board in the High Court. But we are not prosecuting these people because they have stolen Gold Board money. That is what you must understand. So in law we say that criminal offenses are acts in rem, means they are acts against the rem, acts against the state. But several cases are what? Acts in personam, acts against a person. So when you see the prosecution of a crime, it doesn't mean that the one prosecuting is the one who has been offended. It means that the one being prosecuted has violated a law, the law of the country. So there are gold-related offenses spelled out under the Gold Board Act. And if you're a gold trader and you violate that, you'll be prosecuted. Whether or not the money involved it belongs to Gold Board. This is the statement of accounts between the Gold Board and its license aggregator, Bower Rock. For 1st January 2026 to 31st July 2026. It shows that Bower Rock doesn't owe Gold Board a peswa. Rather, we owed him and we have had to pay him. And as I speak, we owe him over 500 million Ghana cedis in program cost alone. So nobody has absconded with our money. Because when we give money to aggregators, the aggregators give us an advance payment guarantee from credible insurance companies and reinsurance companies. And in some cases, those that we call retrocessionaires. They are reinsurers of reinsurers. And these guarantees protect the funds we give them so that should anything happen, the Gold Board has a remedy. We've not had to make any claim under that guarantee because our aggregators have fully settled all the outstanding obligations. But if you go and take their money in breach of trading regulations and the Gold Board Act, and they lodge a complaint with us, it's like somebody going to the police station to lodge a complaint. We will investigate and we will prosecute you. So you will hear that we are in court with some licensed traders because they have misappropriated or are unable to account for funds given them by an aggregator. It doesn't mean that the money belongs to the Gold Board. That is the explanation I have for you. Then, number 3. What is the Gold Board doing for Ghana to achieve revenue for development from record gold prices? Kluche, the answer is the Gold Board. Without the Gold Board, this record high gold price we are currently witnessing would have eluded the country because the chunk of the gold would have left the shores of Ghana through informal channels, through the Togo border, through a Lubo border. The FX would not have come back, and the revenue that Ghana ought to have gotten would not have come. And that is why President Mahama established the Gold Board. You recall the Gold Mafia documentary of Al Jazeera, in which one foreigner called, is it Alester Matthias, indicated that at the time in 2024, at the time before Gold Board, he could smuggle as much as $40 million of gold out of Ghana every month. And he claimed he was well, let me not talk about that. So, imagine now having an entity who has to buy all that gold, the sole buyer and the sole exporter. And all these people cannot do that. They all must come to the Gold Board. So don't be surprised when you see people attacking the Gold Board the way they do. Because those people have not stopped fighting us. They are not happy with the status quo. So they will contract agents and induce them to fight this patriotic cause. But let us be very alert to some of these things so that we are not hoodwinked. Now, semantics, how is a good board working to prevent loss? Yes, nobody is saying that there's not been a loss, but be factual about it. You can't say that Cuckoo Board has incurred a loss and that loss should be blamed on TV3. And if TV3 issues a statement to say that we didn't make the loss, it is Cuckoo Board loss, then you say it is semantic. That is not semantics. Because a lot of public institutions and public officers in this country have been denigrated, their reputation damaged on the altar of lies, and because they did not rebut those lies in good time. And that is why we have decided not to wait for these repeated, tired, false narratives to become truth in the minds of the unsuspecting public, and we have to set the record straight. So it's very important that it's not semantics. And number two, you say that what are we doing? The solution is a good board model. You see, Bank of Ghana is a central bank. They were not established to trade gold. It is not their core function. They don't have a gold trading department like the gold board established by Mahama has. And that is why the nation builder in his vision saw the need to entrust this gold purchase arrangement to a specialized agency with specialized powers, specialized functions and resources, which would be called the gold board. So since March, we've been trading gold in the proper sense of gold trading. We don't only buy physical gold, we trade derivatives. And we trade gold 24/7. And so far, we've not made any losses. In trading, you can make profit, you can make losses. You just ensure that at the end of the financial year, the overall profit is more than your losses. But we have not even made any losses yet. If we had, we will concede, and we will not allow anybody to foist on us losses that we have not made.
Now we share enra Sammy Gyamfi post na kwaku na eyare hosem. Say first one Sammy Gyamfi na agi atum say omaboka. E kan ho so asem ne ye. No was a busa question be say it possible say wono ya disika twitwi dey say amano no wa kudi dwabra e ka ba kokko ma na wona asa busa sa asem no this wajatu say e ka beba e ka de etime ba na ne dodo de ka de si de si so mu duro no e ho asem ne ye ka na go purchase a program yi say MPP tade de buy that has losses kakra buy you sa losses na buy ye no yan kwhwe se secretary ni ba yan kwhwe se assemble na losses ne buy ye no Sammy Gyamfi any NDC for e ka fa Bank of Ghana any MPP aban ho na enei e ka no a MPP boy ye that time be 2 years no say just 1 year go board yet in April 2025 it be 1 year 3 months no e ka no what triple no yakobusa was hey me en kamasem ye nyane sa na wafa leader of the minority ene kojo ponkroma in fact upon the minister of kojo ponkroma din dia but just say odo afenyo marking energy say no call a press conference editia enna udinatem ebuonim na we no Mahama be sofa wo sa attendie na enura Sammy Gyamfi didi honorable afenyo marking atem no President Mahama e the best of the consequences because one go for be din atem bi e be headi o me onu se go for be din atem bi because they say there most of the accountability series sanctioned by the president enura ade bia Sammy Gyamfi ko kai bia no Jubilee House is sanctioned and san no moko abontin ko say ye wo be kwa ye prepare we brief no cause say be stated that me kind enie na ya say possible questions amount na wa ma answers answer na wakọ eti enura asem bia Sammy Gyamfi kan bia no sanctioned by President Mahama but I'm not surprised ko kai that time na see we see the dean Haruna Drusu ni speaker of parliament atem abanu mo opposition some be kaya o tro krata bi edidi o matem ye no obi ahu se sa ade no bi krata free ban efijo Mahama ho na by that time we opposition leader no it is said ye bebu oman no na ye busa wasem na mo de ateni ne beba dia ele say ye busa question na ye attend de be ka ho because I got to be there kenya crime Mona maba say obi nya kasentwi ko pa mo se bubu afu wati kwa apai. Kwaku, the substantive issue is that yakodi go to ja ya boka. Na say what be that? Ghana buy twesika ato ho. Yedama Bank of Ghana say you fa go to gold. When they to gold no enya Bank of Ghana. A gold board for and a Ghana branch say mo pen na mo to gold. Eti mo ko to gold na Bank of Ghana for this kala mamu. Na mo so mo de amamu nko for go to gold no. Ya mamu 10 million na. Mo beba no. Mo ko to gold worth 7 million. Na ya boka say 3 million. Now asa ko jis ka ko fro. Mo ko to gold 15 million. Me wa so de ba mo 18 million. Mo boka 2 million. O say 3 it's 3 wa ha. And 3 wa 6. Na ayesa I repeat the whole year. Ye wie ne ka say e ka mbo kaka ne ka nyina bom na e say 15 million na. Sammy Gyamfi say ye ne ko to gold no. Na so siska no. Ya amoka. I made them as a minty bida. It's a cano. If I come back Bank of Ghana for motor day. Bank of Ghana for uncle to gold. Ombuds come most from some to gold, bra, and a maboka. It's the books, no, a gold board for books to the moon. And what I said, didn't say a year expenditure. What I say, aha, it income did the abano or multi fish moon. Expense on baby ano almost ever come Bank of Ghana. Now where the go kusasa won't be that. Media and Rasa media many who say what me to say gold board for Aboka. But the quantum yene as you say can say.
Say gold board in semi abe. Ni etiene say uchi koko a wunni ma. Na empenifon so say na mo ayenwie no yemfa yesin che. Na Sammy Gyamfi ayese obechi odabo na wawe ne minimum. So what I say because Bank of Ghana ewo ho. Na mesa kan minsan kan kan say empelifo kan say otose kan e de senyansa ni nsem a odi do ema no baiba. Na otose kan de hye kwase nsem a odi di awu. Enti no ade e den so de ekunkwasea. So what I say ade e de ekunkwasea. Enti no kwase anso sua esua wie kosua duawi se ya pa yes odakura no ana eden na etua na no saa na nti a mebu saa be nyina ne se ba omia ena nyam kopon eson ne dae na Ghana akwa hunyehiam saa bre no ye ni access to domestic market ye debt exchange program both domestic and external mana to apenten Akufo Addo say the darkest moment of the presidency. And let's say it trebi a sundaye bi etimi sundaye bi na biribi firim ba. Ba omiya ko nko to dua ni mu da sore ye no na nyamia so ne daye say fa gold na fa yi Ghana e free sa ha no. Kwa be na be fa so aye e kwan mienu. 1 fa gold no kwasesa oil your friend gold for oil. Na nka $400 million abosumi bia no ye hia de kope oil de ba no. Sa pressure no infra ban so ebiem fa gold ekoye reserve na entimi masid no enya hoden entina ba omi aye ne se nyansem no o kan se all mining companies o Ghana ha nyina no big ones no omunfa 20% of gold nya den emra na small scale for no so enfo di nyina emra eye option and buy the mom but na other people so etimi eye adwuma no bi NDC for buy eno mo de emraba se obia ntimi ko ba omia process na gradual process se eventually no ombedu ba bi obia beton de ama PMMC ena mo ba prekope omu hu se fa so no ena mo yese waji gold nyina enene wa motivate galamsey for ena mo tu galamsey na da bia me catch them say aha na trick ne wo NDC for target nyina ye ba omia he gold nsem akoso nyina no anya bibia o Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia any NDC for target. We be just an adentia. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a baby can say watch dollar not to them. NDC Kiyama IGP. Ena economic crisis by ena Sydney then a course. So NDC by all they want to do they say ye pese ye keep seed no at a rate a fam so that ebedu campaign no se seed no fam a na ye use the tia Bawumia aye campaign so that Bawumia will not have anything to say about the economy because Bawumia stronghold mienu economy and the corruption so timidi necessity the book say me more chrono da na me more chrono and so timi ka say obehye Ghana sika asem yiyi enu ani ogodon asem ni nyina ani na ma chechiru mu enti efibro mo baaye no on betu gold board no na mo sha ase say dey sa na tie dia si Mahama no anum ton si betu Ghana gold nyina dey yesi di yiye a ende onu asem na say na mo sha say omutu eno matu a masisi an ade anka ye no in moderation ne ye di nyansa eto ho no etise ne asabe wato okwase ehunu duare eno watie so kwadwofuro me eno watie so eno de gold ye dwi ensasi saa ne ye de ba na Sammy Gyamfi ton koba no de beach chagrada nom no de beach chankrofo no ye se odibi ya na asia yie no wa se Sammy Gyamfi ya se twom isi wa se prekopinfo wa se twom isi wuti so wa ye wo sia Sammy Gyamfi atumi se ye adware no o he class ye kura no ene wo ba security fu egu ni chen ojum se akwa no wa ye the defo na Sammy Gyamfi isi an kon wo hunu kon ni ti asi na yi so aha ne ha friend say ni so aha ne yesene bo Sammy Gyamfi ti asi ne bo so isi na o ba wo hunu kon njo ba e memere do aso sokorbo fofunu ena wo de enamu enene gold no ne ye twe ko ne ye twe ba ne ye twe ko ne ye twe ba ne ye twe ko ne ye twe ba saa na fe dia abedu ba bia ade esi edi nyansa toro ho ne ye manage no ene dia fe dia e kana jinsem 1.7 billion in fiti ase minority kind no mo se anya no kre omo je ho achinye sa ama fe dia ai me fankasa be kan say Bank of Ghana me bo okoko saa e kanu a wujigu ho no ebe ha Central Bank no ena IMF ebe bo amane minority ni kan ya pe na so for na tiesim ai principalities ni sunsun bi asore tie gold board Ghana for Mompaima gold board na minority say yentie sabe ya press conference bi demand answers in fact I wish I say parliament sanka parliament en nientun san fresh Sammy Gyamfi na omra meyin sema no minority no speaker so mompene ndom boguye ampene ena minority no demand answers and dra Sammy Gyamfi di Ghana for sika aye press conference the Ghana for sika taxpayers money etua media house nyina ne bloggers nyina amia fan the whole Ghana live say obedi atem akwara no say na mama foka na obedi atem etua Sammy Gyamfi the Ghana for sika organize press conference afano media house across the country say oba be didi minority the atem keke and one thing I do press conference no say oba aba be didi na atem keke na wodi atem ni nyina wie no no kansi so no say I no kre say e kaba etino na atem didi na wodi minority leader no wonya sa wo hefa what do you mean because say kaba na minority leader ka na obedi na atem na wo sagitum say kaba wonya sa wo hefa no wanya pani toto say Dr. Steve Mantiao na obegina say I say gold board no akoton good no wanya 10 billion na 16 billion no about 1.7 billion how be anyhow but the same Dr. Steve Mantiao no and the Kufuado see a kasi the oil process ni bi ekosi 6 unit classroom block na omoko na dan ni ho a na oye chairman of PIAC no na wa ba bonten abansi kashi abaji skaso ko si school dan ya ko school dan ni ho ena nsuo boho ni ho pa cho school dan ko so sen godon boho ba ko so sen baby 60,000 boho ni bia de fan 60,000
school that time never
350,000 Ghana cedis and no cedis 350,000 cedis so can 3.5 billion and no na Dr. Mantiao afa tuntun sansan no wo bom kwen Kufuado aban no sika ye oyi sika aye de go school adan no homadi na net Dr. Steve Mantiao say 1.7 billion dollars 22 billion Ghana cedis all the quantity sika ma eye opihu ha ai etso bia hu nwi
the fairly say
opihu ha
Professor Miss Kai wa. Professor Miss
P. Yes, of P. They say
Dr. Stigmanti ase we boni bia nim na enipa dasani wodi wa furati a na wa yira wa dwene safoa wa hweye pa obeya amoma ka se wodi pani bi atem but ade omo ye no enye endro Sammy Gyamfi di Ghana for sika taxpayers money a friends and trefo abedi afanyuma ka atem keke na den sabi ne sikuru abanti bi da no tui na akoko hu bi da na o mawu afanyuma ka ni hu bi da na atem didie
se omo no lewru o ma yo madwen se MPP for ekwan mo fa so a afi do mo expose omo no ebe jinsemu enti yanso yentin wo mso ni eni wo matem but Sammy Gyamfi jali because what 10 year we no entimi nka obi akasa bo anhye minority no wo mo so amfa so sin majority na wo parliament no because we Ghana parliament enipa 170 na so 80 something no ye hunu mfa so obi a wo so parliament ho but se ohwe edom kuma minority na wo ho no adwuma omo ya enya adwuma ketwa atani ndie mo nyine mo ho na munni na ensem no nokra no so be yire ho aka me sika ya mo ekan me suspect say enya 1.7 billion efa awo aban no ne nkrofo ho o matam de asie baabi a mo ebedi ni keke ene fa so ene yeka because bi nyansa bi anim nti asie anim say uto gold kakra bi unya afi ba akokra wesi wabo 1.7 billion dollars gold yi tomatoes ena April nti say turn of force aye via no ma wie sika no efa ana mo de asie anything Sammy Gyamfi pom fia say wo mu obia no because when you man sika awia na akwasi prat say on tia say
no fantoso
akwasi prat is on tia say minority leader aka say Sammy Gyamfi oba ni baby condition be kese nti odi hu yawo na ye mani niska no wonko obi ye $2 million
Professor Mayor
akokra $2 million that's what you
o board chairman
board wa so approve $2 million na djuma no yantimi anye enti enemo de no nam anajo awia na wo 1.7 billion mo achadi na ye ba na ejai say ye de yajimi nti
me say amafo me say we die but na no sahene yade
wo yade pa so kan
asem no che no na sai sikai a mo Ghana na ti o tio ya sorry movement TV you see a koto computers
yes
near babeton okay ya disikano amame na makwa koto computer no ana miskano wona scan wo ho na mabaji scan na makwa koto computer no na maboka me boka in fact send endra godon example no pepe sa akola wu kwa chin sa okoton ade o ma me say enema so no 2000 cities na mo mama 500 cities say obi be to be fire nsa na wako na okoba no a sika no a oba anso yima mbisa o say enyame na maboka me de na mekoto e de eso yen pepe na mo 500 na kan de maame e na aboka why na aboka eni ani o maame dia e na o maame ansa ma o sika sajiko ena sika de ma o se fa kwensa no akwakwose no it's a car bar o se me amekoto ne man de ma aboka because eni ma de ma me 2000 ma 2000 aba na 500 na de ma no so wo hefa what I say enti wakwakoboka e kan wakwa eden wakwakobo wo se e kan eni mi book susu na Bank of Ghana na the Bank of Ghana no e wuni dia na wo se dia Bank of Ghana e Ghana company e Ghana for dia say na gold board no e Ghana for dia no it's a wo utumadie ama Bank of Ghana for boka na kasa nya gold board aka Bank of Ghana akasa aka no be coin obe coin
enti sen komoka kotin baby komoka 1.7 billion
akasa aka no Bank of Ghana obe de abo
anka onu no de say 18 billion no anaja
atase
o dwene ho wasa ko fe bia be kan ho
wa boka wa Bank of Ghana where did you go Bank of Ghana abodwesem ena wo tuo na obo hom na ne say wanya surplus surplus no ko fa na hefa
so ka say Ghana for yajimijimi
ahwa na tro san konta no Sammy Gyamfi na chen san konta no ho ya
M11 and graphic the front page
na graphic
ya omutimi ya yango GTV ho
graphic
ọmọ kọtwe say NDP for so major demonstration bro
attracting
onini ma was man kana onini
ati honorable
me kan wo she wa ho ba na onini
the big issue
page no kwame mpocho me music and man kan na me wi am famo kwame mbom to be fair emi a politician e bia metwa akohwi enti mpocho won famo kwame kan afo wo di kan na wi afabra
where ye IMF International Monetary Fund Ghana was selected issues
correct
na one Eddie Free International Monetary Fund Washington DC
thank you
date no August 2026
yo mpocho a minority for reporter
there be
kwame can brofo no boko
what's it kanene ya bebo lottery was now the numbers
thank you
in 2025 the significant scaling up of DGPP operations led to losses of over 1.7 billion
what
dollars. That is 1.5% of GDP.
Right.
Almost entirely related to gold for reserve. Oil purchases. This amounted to a loss of 17% of the value of all gold sold by the Bank of Ghana. Losses accrued on gold trades are a combination of service and assay fees paid to gold board.
Emphasis.
Okay.
Kwame, emphasis.
Mate, meka hobiem. Was say amounting to 17% of the value of the gold sold by the BOG. Losses accrued on gold trades are a combination of service and assay fees paid to gold board.
Continue.
Discounts on gold sold to off-takers, that is exporters, and most importantly, exchange rate losses from the spread between Forex Bureau rate paid to purchase gold and the CD reference rate used for BOG accounting. That's figure 7. Survey data suggests that Ghanaian ASGM,
that's artisanal small scale gold mining,
prices are among
the abbreviation or your artisanal small scale gold mining.
Next,
right.
Gold.
Right.
Moon, okay.
Right.
Are among the highest in the region.
Right. So it means that in West Africa, yen artisanal gold na in yet ton, it is the most expensive. Yet ton abozin na area yaboko. And it's a yekade the minority no a church azim na yekade. One ton gold in bokao na gold board aton gold abokawa. Asamnin kodo.
These accounting losses partly reflect valuation effects rather than economic costs.
Stay there, Kwame. So what this means is that the argument by government abandoning Shemi there is always an economic cost to implementing an economic policy such as this gold purchase program. No, it's not correct, because per this audit by IMF, with government ajatum. By the way, just for clarity, anytime IMF does a report, it shares the draft with government for government to express its own views as to the issues emanating from the report. So what I want the public to know in there, this final report is what both parties have agreed and signed to as the final conclusion. Right. So from this report, the IMF is saying there, the gold for reserve program, or the domestic gold purchase program, has a structural design defect. What the report is saying, therefore, is that the policy has failed, and the losses are not as a result of economic costs. That's why they stated it in black and white. Yeah. So you cannot even argue that the IMF was not fair. The IMF was fair. And the language of the report, per what we all know in governance, is agreed by both parties. So you have been indicted as a government for failing in such a key policy. So if you tell me that, oh, your justification is that you have brought in so much forex in the gold trade and that has resulted in the stability of the cedi, your own report is indicting you that no, you had some inefficiencies in the program.
The honorable when gold board naboka na BOG naboka.
This question you have the answer. What is the answer in the report? Before I come in with my explanation, in the report, what did the IMF say? Yenna yezi no kwarama eraze in Oman Ghana. What you just read, IMF attributed the losses to which institution? Mpocho.
You command gold board.
Sir, can you have a ones into Munkoso Kwame?
Gold board.
Can you na want it?
What you?
No, but I'm can you assembly Canada
gold board.
Into Miami in America.
But
wait, Kwame Mpocho. Is it me who is saying it? So must I be insulted? Or do be some hoba? Make your sama to bido. Mr. Obinizin akot to pado there one shana hoba. Is that not the report? Is a minority lying? Is any serious institution making fact check in this country going to tell me that the minority is wrong? What is the IMF saying about the losses? Are they not attributing it to gold board? Are they not attributing it to the entire domestic gold purchase program? Are they not talking about the forex losses? Are they not talking about the exchange rates? Are they not raising the pricing? Kwame, let me add another point. When gold board loan were here, there were two things given to gold board as a mandate. One, a regulatory function. Two, a monopoly function. And I will explain. Make a regulatory function. Gold board now were established by an act of parliament. Regulatory function you there. And one na artisanal gold. Yeka artisanal gold. Yeka the small scale mining. Funi nyina. Gold board is a embra. A regulating one. So that is the law I have passed. Second, Embrano Suse, Obi Biara or your small scale mining Biano, or your one institution in a oil dot no gold in the moment, or your gold board. Kwame. So anybody selling artisanal gold will sell that gold to gold board because by law, gold board has the exclusive mandate, monopoly over the gold that is mined under them artisanal gold mining, subsector of the mining industry. Now, an argument in there. To that extent, one cannot say that Sebio losses gold board on young one because all the gold from the artisanal mining sector or your own and say one farm forward. Now, say Ebekaya, when the minority first read the interim report of IMF, Bekaya the last year was it 10-year disclosure be your first report, the 5th review no. This report is a 6th review. 1/5 review was stated there. There were some losses up to $214 million. When we got hold of that report, we filed a motion in Parliament. You file a motion, an argument in there. Even the fees were just too high. And immediately you raised the fees as some, which was 15%. BOG and Gold Board held an emergency meeting and reduced the fees to 9%. And later reduced it further to some 5%. And now, after the 6th review report, Bank of Ghana says it is exiting the program entirely. Kwame, we raise this issue as patriots, as part of our oversight. The parliamentarians say omanu bibiru kocho na yen yanka wana bi on obaka nurse fu pia we school a aben say a minister no say only clearance finance ministry say the fiscal space ahonzi nyi ho meanwhile through this gold for reserve programming you've incurred such huge losses. You needed only 6 billion to employ some nurses and teachers. Musimu need 6 billion. Yet 22 billion has gone down the drain.
My question and say gold board for no a Bank of Ghana for an amount say munto gold my mukwa munto ni say fees ni anyame womu say we sumu fantia we it me gold board no se me toni nyina nam de koma Bank of Ghana pe de sha wode amame no a sem funso bi ba wodi bra me gold board say na enkofo bisa se auditor general's report no so no kan se Bank of Ghana na se kan se kan se a gold board.
Okay, Kwame, that question no, the latter part of your question already you have the answer. That in the report,
the report, okay.
From the report, you know, your answer needed. So let's not repeat it. Now, let me come to the main question. Main question na nipa no bisa wono. The answer lies with government. Kwame, I am not responsible for policy implementation of government. I'm in my opposition. If our iyaben na introduce a policy, your duty is to put in place the guardrails, the mechanisms for successful implementation. When the policy fails, you take responsibility. So at this point, I don't want to get into the argument where somebody will say, oh, why are you not blaming World Bank? Why are you not blaming BOG? Why are you blaming Gold Board? Why is it that the losses are in the books of BOG? So as for Gold Board, say one come. You see, that would be amounting to mischief. Why? Because there is a complete structure, a value chain of transaction. You have traced the transaction to where the error, the defect is. So maybe a defect in one, that should be where you hammer. Yes, it is true, and in all fairness, the report, it was Bank of Ghana that IMF audited. Yes, it is true that the losses are in the books of Bank of Ghana. Yes, it is true also that the losses are attributable to which institution? Continue for me from what we read.
Yeah, to the Gold Board.
Yes. Now, in all this structure, Bank of Ghana for Sebi, and one what artisanal gold Ghana. No.
Well, one mammy said, say.
So what I'm saying is that Kwame, to make it simple, no, it's a government policy failure.
Okay.
It's a financial loss to the state, true or false. The loss is on whether you mention Bank of Ghana or Gold Board, you are mentioning what? A loss to the states. Because Gold Board is a state institution.
How
do you account for profit? You account for profit by deducting costs of sales from sales. Anna,
yeah.
The mischief then is that the cost has not been captured there. The cost has been offloaded to another institution that is a subsidiary. Kwame, let me ask you a question. From the report that you have read, which you are still in possession of, the losses have been identified in the books of BOG, correct?
Correct.
But the losses have been attributable to which institution? Right. Now, Kwame, how did not band go border there? No, apologize. No, yes, in Kwame, these are reputational issues. So, Kromano, yen na o dube
bro I otherwise on be ni say ya na mo dey serve aban no enti godon emu oya na emu so awuram na Sammy Gyamfi hwe wo a woti ho yi wo age na Akufo Addo se oye mperwanye sen anka na no na Akufo Addo sanka osi so no se ne ne boys no 16 17 18 20 no ma wo no se Akufo Addo wo sa abre na anka Sammy Gyamfi wo ye ne nana hwe se ne wo si obeka se ne ma no enyi on betimi awo no enti na me che sanka Akufo Addo nya 20 years 25 ene nya bra no pa abo no so be wo a anka sa abre na no ye den eyepe hwe se na o si so na Akufo Addo mu esi so pa no etwa ntro edigu ni hufi edigu na nimu ase
so kan ye no krempa anka ha dwen
twa ntro edigu ni hufi egu na nimu ase hwe kwaku agima manu ede na kwaku agima manu aye kwaku agima manu ye health minister covid aba crisis esi ama nipa ewu eye corona na eduro aba aye fa ne vaccine na ese ye koto vaccine de ba na vaccine no aba be ye global issue na kwaku agima manu akwa konya yesi Dubai ni bi United Arab Emirates ni bi aye middleman afa no so akwa konya vaccine ni bi aba Sammy Gyamfi ni NDC for said a international agreement according to article 75(2) of the constitution no and say ko parliament na parliament ema approval and this parliament ama approval and akwa agima manu ekoto vaccine no e de bae masa ye hu kwa Sammy Gyamfi eno de manu ni Akufo Addo ban e fa so
me so de be kan ho a on was that time no na vaccine no e ho aye di nti no approve parliamentary approval na ma no na akwa de international pricing no ekosoro it is want me and to be that is a hedging oh we say what's a hedging the oil industry no mo sa ade it is say we catch nipa ko say ye to ade no ebia $15 per baako ba ye die ye beto no $17 by the time we be produce be wie no beto $17 se be abenya bi ebu ono ma beto $17 no by the time ma we be ko produce do ni wie no na ne boate aba fom ebia
$10
ebia $10 and at 12 eto bi so a we be produce wie do be wie no na 17 a wo so wo to no na ko 25 ye no say tipa for my yentimi nkase we aboka because that time no wanko told sad ayina e ka wunya bi don't forget that Israel for so ewu Israel for
Donald Trump a drone I am saying for the say one of the company minim say AstraZeneca says Sputnik V omo product batch omo ye nyina Donald Trump agini nyina am vaccine ho adin kwakwajima manu ekoto vaccine Biden. Never Trump. Trump. COVID by not Trump, no president. Trump. Kwakwajima menu e kwanya NDC for faso. E twi honorable kwakwajima menu aboso. Ewie ye papa yi ade ade. Ewie ye no na ya te parliamentary committee crowd e was ade ho. Ewie ye se ya kwamra minta kando. Enne onam sin say bibi
as a robot.
Yes, say ye mo honorable kwakwajima menu ye mo ni mimuduem kwana ko bisa kwakwajima menu di NDC for di ne ho e wo sa vaccine ne ho sam na kono mo bodin kiro so be kan kra kiro a honorable kwakwajima menu ko bisa di a NDC for bi edidi ne ho e wo sa vaccine issue ne ho kwana ko bisa no any blackmail NDC for bi e blackmailing ye say be bodin e betia bodin di a kire
ya no call for video no
okay Dubai and Crawford fa ho koye me na me ka kirawo me na me ka kirawo Dubai and Crawford bi fa ho ekoye ko bisa kan ye fene papa na the only MP no wo ho na bono ho na ye fene sen kan Canada moa
adamwa
ayiti ase aka wo ko bisa na ye fene sen maami no wuye no
maami be ne wuye wo
ma frozen maami no ton frozen fish no wuye no
oh ye fene sen
La Bianca ti ase aka no ni ko di nkomo ache La Bianca ti ase a agobabo din bi a kire enne Sammy Gyamfi a wo kura kwakwajima manu mene se wa kwakoto anya se kwakwajima manu aboka wo na mo wa kwakoto aduro na international Ghana constitution no eka say anytime bi a be enter into any international agreement bi ano e so the parliament for either parliament ever ratified by resolution and answered by a bill. Now one yen is saying almost see him couldn't free wiase. Now what boka 22 billion Ghana cedis we see more be and can what yari.
About them.
More fast Sammy Gyamfi video name running hard here. And that's Sammy Gyamfi na me can. Oh the wa unim Sammy Gyamfi be unim. Na and that's Sammy Gyamfi bar. And then Sammy Gyamfi bar. United Nations General Assembly yi kra or bar and yes how.
Yeah, ya was we when say. We ya asahene no mo ekohono. Na MPP fo bi nso ne makire edidi ho.
Oh mo de so mo no.
Oh, na
me obetua mo kan na mai.
Mo ya MPP fo. Na mo de Sammy Gyamfi fie na mo didi enti. Ye ka Sammy Gyamfi asema na mo to na mo kasa he mo hwinim. Obi twia na mo frefre no say won puli ni dan ne ka kan. Nyame ba twia mo ka mako MPP fo no a mo Sammy Gyamfi wo na mo didie enti se Sammy Gyamfi asema ne ye kan na MPP fo ka no na mo tia twia mo didi nkwasasem no nyame ba twia mo nyina mo ne mo ka mako mo asefo nka ho because mo asefo anya hwi na mo a mo ya mo se mo na se de party no kura mo na mo ne Sammy Gyamfi na ehwibo mu no yanimo papa na said the another worker ma he ya dako ye bobodi ma de besi asi wo Ghana ha mo MPP fo na mo se fa MPP no ma mo nso ano mo sa ne Sammy Gyamfi ene koba no mo de mo ntena ho time will come ye bobodi ma akoma na de besi Ghana ha besi
what I say enti da se bre ye no na osahene ka kire no se ebiri bibia wo ne bre se no sankafo kan no osun wo ne bre ena se de enso wo ne bre but mo fa enen na oba and the bodyguards be say edu eyidi na chi na o de oba video no yi aheso be hu no kon a me se Sammy Gyamfi kon nyina ayira wa ye pompom fe na ne e course yi se mampani Mahama eye pani bi a oye serious about memu a ese oka bibi che Sammy Gyamfi wendra act no be ye no
jai kwaku adwuma no gold board adwuma na Sammy Gyamfi ye no we ma jo Mahama ni nua no mo onye ma Ghana fo se Ghana fo ni ma gold board no jo Mahama de ne bai se o ma adwuma ma oni nua no enti se obo kana wo be kan odi watema na jo Mahama bibie na no na yo jo Mahama oni se Sammy Gyamfi kodi afenyo ma kan atem no nimpa
ya bo apata
no nimpa
African fo nyina de sika etu radio stations and TV stations ama Sammy Gyamfi akogina so edidi atem
na japade na empa o building na mo pese mo kan ho aso
Sammy Gyamfi say obi even if asem kra afenyo kan se nya no kra Sammy Gyamfi so obi twa ntrofa no ho ye ne ya
o Sammy Gyamfi atwa wa di ni Ghana ha
Sammy Gyamfi say obi twa ntro eto ne so ye ne ya na ye videos no eguo bebre se ebeyi ni videos a
after na se ba omi ade
nya
moja ni ejina ni
after na ko gina say ba omi ade no ena mu wini wie mu atane gina akọ say afede nya ba omi ade no Sammy Gyamfi eno so ye eno so wo be di mekose mekoko video mu ya oya ende sinkete na ye be demand accountability say 22 million de woni ma fa ho koma 22 billion de woni ma fa ho kopreko causing financial loss to the state now why we NDC for no so mo de yi acquitted and discharged no mo acquitted and discharged we ne fa ho koma police for na omo acquitted and discharged we ne edi fio ha na MPP ba you pay for it Eric video no enye ready na edi enfie oha na oye MPP ba ba mu a you pay for it pay for it
na wo tietie mu a omo se na wo so mu tues kan mo se de be ya India for ne Chinese for ne ade na omo so to gold no ye betimi abiti wo mo
amotoro en Ghana ha
mi pese be hu be ko mo to India for omo to gold no
Ghana India for omo to gold no
I say esi anya say you
for to curb galamsia
no to curb smuggling say bia adema enkrofon fa enkofen kuntuna sen kwa outside
say bia to gold bia
enkonkoton eni tina bidi kaka say baomi adwini mu no omo be ye no omo ye ne gradual process di anka say hey leko ya tiesim obi ava no go demra na mo ma kwan ma other players nso ewum na omo ye na wo tena ba no so kakra hu bra obehu ohanu nyina ye endro omo kan mo say baomia MPP for when come in here MPP for na hye model ni to ho say enya ade ebe nya faso na beboka na me say enti wo ba ye no MPP for na MPP for use PMMC wo be sesa fi PMMC e de ko gold board ne wine pompon fe na ko to TV ba ko 800 million e de ko bo gold board ho no se na model ni nya wa hunu nya ansa se model ni nya nti ende obesesa no MPP 40 gold board no obesesa ni din esesa PMMC no obesesa ni din ebesesa office eto TV ba ko 800 million old series.
In fact omo baye no PMMC dano no mo matu obako ta bank of Ghana enya hona mi so ko renovation bank of Ghana
ko renovation
one is omo
ko renovation to TV ba ko 800 million old series ena de ko bo ehonum na ndi ohun nyansa ye ni nyina na mo wa hunu nyansa ansesa model na ayi no gold board no be operate wo so no na wa boka wi na eye unim nyame sa na nyame ye na adio afa die ne ho akire na wi no afa no be ka say policy na nyame de ba omi adia
sa
afa no say policy o say the NDC for ba omi na ko fa
afa no say nyame de ba omi adia enti si an Ghana for nyina hu the brain behind the gold board say enya NDC for gold board na mo ba omi a brain child
na omo afa na omo de
eno ma ba omo de ma ye boka afa de ka ba de o say ba omi adia yati Ghana for the wase no say dada mase enti go no eni oho no enti Eric mi video no still anya radio
say na o ka bibi o twa video no say de omo ya me ye boka nyina ye say omo nya masidi no ahode nkosoro ni aka se ba omia entimi anya hwe no anya bibi anka hwe ena Ghana for hunu say sidi ne ye $1 no ye to no $1 kura na emfaso ani suma yen nya ni hia yen senke ye to $1 no 17 cedis nei ena dadifo ho to wo okodwoma ye to wa ade wo ye bibi e kwoti se de kanin na tie na anka Ghana for person say ne ya 11 cedis 30%
why they say 11 cities me dey na and answer joy news for your report say man pani ma mo ba ebusia fo mo hwe Sammy Gyamfi video na aba no tisia no Sammy Gyamfi ba say ya o
ni pe twa no ho ahia
ya
esen ma no
enti Sammy Gyamfi ba amanfo nso mo de mo afu na mo afu kire fo amo so de ba bia de obi a no ba bia de obi a be hu omo
o se wa ye boy o
Sammy Gyamfi no no ba no
what the suafo
on the suafo enti o didi didi fo nso so na mo nchen amanfo de ba bia didi obi a be hu omo ho
ma bro
ayo
pa na mo tese mo di ho ban sa enti sa de na omo ye no say ye ba sidi no ahode na baso emfaso bie ni so ma me ordinary person na mate abontin na me hunu de ekono because ene won kra mo kra ne ma na mo de $1 kra ne ma no kra no ene kwa go so kan musu se kan na $15 cedis 14 something or kufu ado pen so no na mo koto engineer na engine bo ofom ene engine ko fa ba kra ni pentimi nto enti ene kan say na engine advert kra no obiso kan for no mo ntanje ense ne obi e kwa boso kan obi a Facebook omo ya advert because omo ko sisa bi go anu anse go enti mo ya mo nya ni sa na no kra bebo ne bedu se yakoto aba no na eka mo abosum Ghana for so no se Ghana for beka se mo nsa ntena ho bio na mo nsa medi nsem hunu sa bio nkyere o ma no mfie nan a se ye nyere to manyu enti de mo ye no de mo su se mo ha Ghana for ana se mo se mo ni ate mo nya mo nko na edu se mo bebu akonta ya mo su na konta de mo bebu upo mo mpe ubebu ti se de obi ebu bi no na nya na mo di probity and accountability bae
na mo suro
na fe de ne de mo amu probity and accountability mu dwane afiri ho
omo suro mo na de se party na free ne kwan so I see the what tears in Europe
the backing dog he was tamed before he died
enti that's when go don ya de bi emu odwerem na osahene omo nso mo hoden na enim so mo no we enka mo kotu kwa na akon tai enti abino se asare sei ni dina tem na abana na exact mudiri fa no ojo pon kuma exact mudiri fa no no kure wo mo no waka kire wo no ohun no kure no ene ya ka kire mo no that's why bobo wes mami
masari me the video akubia man no say eye ready afato so why eye ready na we just say free came abesna program na say enya senketua o efe
you see there you know anka what sika si the friend nana $10 nana $10 see the dollar gu no ho enye we na o kan orenye video we na o kan
yes
oh hweka no o de hweka no hweka no oh won tena kan shren no yeah am je mfinu no
money swine
sika bon a wote odi sika tompara no na oni sika ade achiso abi sika ade achiso di oni David oni tene Ghana ha nyina ayi aso obi antimi kana se movement TV penny actimi kasa me Gyamfi asem Ghana nyina na sema ba movement TV penny betimi aka
try MPP for ko bia kan
na den obi antimi kasa me Gyamfi asem no coffee obi antimi kasa me Gyamfi asem movement TV
shirt no suit na coat no
obi be
na Eric J ho a menchia no na Eric J dey I don't think say person I fair to him
aden
because of professor obeye juma as
Sammy Gyamfi
8
okay
so obeye see you it enu achi program ko no no what Sammy Gyamfi enti Sammy ko na yi the speech ko read the free toy uja kwale sa no
say Eric you will show loyalty any solidarity ni anti ensan ko na ko did net
say nipa de obenya adamfo a wugini di na ba be yemia but say wugini di ne say wo me ne kwatra danso man na wo so ti e fe ne say oyarefa now I saw no hwenwan so o danso ma holumo e na so hwenwan so oyarefa ba wo kwa na wo jade de na gu ho na wo dwa ba ko no na wo free danso aba so kwa kohwe oyarefa
de say wo ti na wo twin plan ka so a sia na me hu say security I want to take more views one minute
adwasa fo na
to the offer ayina entoso na yen hwa de say wo hwe ayino sania atmosphere ni city a any said the name si ekono a minim say we official ana say obi na aye dia but what do you think
RQ
o say RQ ho enti reclaim rebrand and recapture Sankofa for short
every man you be Sankofa bi but my attention anko ho ti say no pay we de kire me there some chafa na me won constituency na deru any god now adwade kwa wa anko no eye omo a staffa fo ni Dominic Kwabenya fo ni area fo nyina sa eya na nanu ikura no ade a oyeye no ana ma omo hunu se maame no onye izi kwan fa so ye ni papa yie pa na manfo se adwa ne ni adin ese se adin ba entimi de da bia me ka se adwa ko 2025 kienu su seat ni da
okay what do you think Sankofa
adwa ho ofu
adwa de
kwaku me yeyi kakra me nim me position
na me kan me hu say official from here
and say official kra mpo ana se den a sa adwa besan ba wo adwa mebreye wo mebreye na first no say dey ka say yes asore no apostle Joseph asore no so ko for ta ebeto abana ya na eta wini se na papa ni free mu no woni akofna asore ni mu apa mienu
oh yes
entini yenka hu se adwa support base no do mo ba e bu be 30% de mo ma
go no say
it wo adwumaye
ba se de onye asafo no ba no so no oni 1% kra free
me ba
enti adwa o that advantage no
me ndin say adwa na asafo no problem adwa ene ni nua ene wo problem
ba asafo no mu ati
adwa so problem ni nua ne wo na nya asafo no ntia
but you can't take asafo no away from it
adwa say oba ni asafo no nim nti be ma ne be di anim
bo ma kan nyina afra
nhye wo ho a na yesa mu di ye ono opese sa nhye ni nya adwuma
what I'm saying is that even though Kenya asafo no but afra asafo because when I say okoye Thanksgiving ukumase ni say that same day no na akofna so ye ni bi eye bibi e wo ha say no mo it would ye no e wo ho but ye nya unity ankasa e wo constituency ho
oh yes
say adwa ba na so adwa be ni primary okwe nkofo obo mani o say ni be manage wo mo omo hwe ni ye
esa ayo kra wini adwan krofo so ye adwuma bo
da bi utete nkomo no mo che se adwan krofo a ma me
and the woman
eti mo hwe ni ye
and the woman no kotra se na omo fa se
ana me se hwe eti yan hwe ni se mo hwe ni se e be ye difficult a aso mi na
omo fa se la mra keke
na yan fa different person
okay and also ya
ba sa adwa be ba me a won surprise adwa be tima wini primary reason ye ko ne ma e course ba so wini a wo adwa be breast wo ye
Ejina Ghana for parliament, Ejina Ghana for it is a majority for so become not to media. Ye minority, I was here to be ebieso. Nye ka say IMF ka we da ho no no. IMF ka we aba da ho no Bank of Ghana ka na abeda ho ye good bond. Ejumediem na sa ka na ba no. Ye kire mu sai. Ye kire mu sai no a ni e pa kire Ghana for say e ka bi say na aba da ho 22 billion. Na ye makwan ma ye nkata sa ka no so. Ye mfa nse keta bi ase. Enkoye keta se na sebe sedne wo bitimi kobo ka wo na dwuma yemu sika bi fa obi ase kakra ne ade ne be chino ko yoko na o de be ko ni sika se be to so a na make say ebi ne 22 billion cedis abeda ho abaye toku eda ho no mo IMF ehu afei abaye ka se da bi eka bi ameda ho CEO no da no se da bi obi ne be dwuma bi ye minya sika minya mfaso ba wadwuma na wo ye no nipa wo di sika